You see a kid in a fucking morgue. That shit's the worst.
What happened?
My son goes to work on Saturday, sleeps in, has brunch with his friends, gets on the motorcycle, is involved in an accident, and doesn't survive. Violent accident. You know, motorcycles are unforgiving. That was the last ride.
At that moment, do you even see yourself on stage anymore?
Life ends. I don't even see myself breathing, living, talking, none of it. You see a kid born in a hospital, you see them in a fucking morgue.
What was that like when you had to spend time with mom? Did you feel any types of resentment in that situation, or?
So the person really caring for me was my brother. He was the one taking care of me because my mother would get out of work at 3 and not get home until 8. I've met my mother at the table and I told her to her face, you fucked up, but I forgive you. I wish I had a dad, you know, but I didn't. Mm-hmm. You know, my father went to Vietnam, fought for the United States as an Army Ranger, but Vietnam did not do well for him mentally.
So at some point when you were younger, somebody said to you, you're so funny, you should be a comedian.
Organic part of being funny is that you just want to make people laugh. Remember they had the Scooby-Doo pajamas?
Yeah.
Like in those little pajamas, I was going Laverne, Laverne, Laverne. And my grandmother, my grandfather, like they would look at me like, what the fuck?
Welcome back to Forged Into Man, the place where we strip away the masks, where the fire doesn't burn a man down, but it builds him up, where every scar has a story, every loss has a lesson, and every man who sits in the chair here, not because life was easy, but because life demanded more of him. Here we honor the truth that the fire doesn't destroy the man, it defines him. Forged by pain, tempered by faith, built for purpose. And today we sit with a man who embodies every part of that journey. A man raised in the Bronx in a neighborhood that was protected by its own. A community that chose pride even when it was surrounded by chaos. A working class kid who learned early that humor isn't just entertainment, it's an armor, it's a language, and it's survival. A man shaped by the courage of his grandfather, a Korean War veteran, and the love and sacrifice of a grandmother who raised him through example, not obligation. A man who carried the words, "You're so funny, you should be a comedian," from childhood to destiny. A man who took the leap, left the safety of a day job, risked everything, and walked onto a stage fearlessly, ready to fail, ready to grow, ready to rise. But what makes today sacred is not the laughter he created, it's the loss he survived. Because one sentence, one moment rewrote his entire world. Your son did not survive. There are fires a man can prepare for, and there are fires that break the world beneath his feet, that test faith, that challenge identity, that change everything a man believed about life. Yet here he is, still standing, still creating, and still loving, still choosing purpose in the face of unimaginable pain. Because a forged man doesn't avoid the fire, he walks through it. Today we sit with not just a comedian, but a father, a son, a man actively rebuilding his spirit with courage, honesty, and grace. Mark, it's an honor to sit here with you today, not only as a guest, but also a friend for years now. And man, I'm blessed to be able to do this with you, man.
Yeah.
Listen, a lot of you don't know, Mark lives in Florida, drove an hour and a half to come down to do this with me today.
Yes, sir.
In shit weather, by the way.
Yeah.
So I know there was traffic out there because no matter how much it rains in Florida, Floridians still don't know how to drive.
They don't know how to drive, bro. They
don't
don't drive in the dry weather well. So imagine when you sprinkle some water on the streets.
They don't know. It's a little mist. Coño, se jodió todo. We're done.
Bro, all bets are off.
Done.
All bets are off.
We're done.
Absolutely.
Dude, again, I'm grateful to do this with you. I love you as a friend. I love you as a man. I love you as a comedian.
Thank you.
I definitely want to talk about your son.
Yeah.
And at some point we'll get into that. And I want to highlight him as a human being, as we should. I remember sitting with you guys at the Hard Rock.
Yeah, we
You know?
did that. And I'm grateful we did that.
Yeah.
You know, in hindsight, I'm
And-
grateful we did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And definitely want to get into that. But before we do, you know, I want people to know who you are, where you come from, you know, what that looks like. So talk to me about like little Mark Viera, right? You know, in the Bronx, like, and you said something, you know, in conversation about this podcast. You said that you lived in a particular part of the Bronx that kind of really took care of itself. The streets were clean, the people were good, everybody looked out for each other. It wasn't like the rest of the Bronx. What was that like for you? What did that mean to you?
I guess my neighborhood was like that. It was like we were sheltered.
Okay.
Not by, you know, but not by borders or, you know, gates and things of that nature. We were just sheltered by the willingness of the people that lived in the neighborhood to not allow for outside fuckery. You know, that when kids would come into the neighborhood or even adults to do bad stuff, there was always someone going, hey, you don't belong here.
Yeah.
You know, you need something? Like there was a voice.
Yeah.
There was a person. There was that badass that, you know, that listen, they weren't getting paid for it. But what we were doing was, even sometimes I feel unintentionally, but we were protecting each other.
Yeah.
You know, and again, it's because I tell people, so think of it as like where I lived in my neighborhood, it was a building, one building in the middle of all houses. So it was houses to the left of my building, houses to the right of my building, and all houses across the street. So what that meant was those people were hard working. They were. This wasn't like what people consider. Oh, you lived in the project. This was no project.
Yeah.
You know, this was a building where everyone in that no low income. You had to be able to prove your credit. And prove your income. This was a working class neighborhood. Here's the problem. So you look at that from like a 30,000 foot view. We were this one working class neighborhood in between projects just to the north and projects just to the south. So what that means is you just have these hardworking people, and then in the exterior of that, just outside of that, you had those who weren't working.
Right.
You had those who were living off government assistance and so on, that they didn't respect. You know, they didn't have, especially in the 70s and 80s, the respect of neighborhood. I don't know if people, like if you close your eyes and think of all the movies you watched where the Bronx was in the background, what it looked like.
Shit.
It looked like shit. You saw abandoned buildings. You saw people out front with those big barrels with fire, and they were singing doo-wop or the early versions of hip-hop, right? That was outside of, see, my neighborhood didn't look like that.
Right.
You know, my neighborhood had people coming in with brand new cars, you know, the Chevy Impalas of the times. And, you know, so we had things of value to lose.
Wood paneled.
The wood panel station wagons. Yes. But what I'm saying is.
We had one of those.
You know, you see what I'm saying? So it was a working class, middle class, in the middle of poor. In the middle of the, right? So
where was this, by the way? Like, so for the people who are listening and they go, dude, I grew up in the Bronx. Like, I grew up in the Bronx.
Yeah.
And my neighborhood was, I could pull some attributes from what you're saying, but not all of it, because I lived in a building, but then there was a building and a building and a building and a building
see what I'm saying?
To the left and right of me.
Exactly.
And then I had, till I was about 7 maybe, there was an abandoned building across the street from me that burned down before I was born.
I know it.
And then they tore down the building, but then they just left the trash dump of what the building used to be there for the longest time. And it wasn't until I was in, like, just so people understand this, it wasn't until I was in high school that they built a school across the street from me in that.
That used to be the building, where people lived.
So let's talk. At least 15 years it took to go from burned down building to rubble to then eventually a school.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So when to give scale, I lived on Castle Hill, right off Castle Hill, a street called Black Rock Avenue.
Okay.
And Black Rock Avenue to this day is exactly the same. We did have a school just down the street, but where we had a school just north, and then going towards the Whitestone Bridge.
Yeah.
we had a Catholic school, you
Okay.
know, which that's the same Catholic school that Jennifer Lopez went to. So I lived on the same street as Jennifer Lopez. She lived on Black Rock Avenue. She lived on the side going towards the Whitestone Bridge, but she lived in a private house. And again, her mother and father were
Working class.
working class. They made good money. They owned their home, you know, back then. And so, you know, again, but their beliefs and their traditions were a little different. Whereas Jennifer Lopez was her father was incredibly strict. He only had 2 daughters, and he wasn't going to let the streets have them.
He wasn't fucking around.
He was not fucking around. He was not going to let the streets have them. So she grew up in a very strict environment. She could go outside and she can go to school, but it was right outside the house. So where we, the boys, were able to sort of
run around
a little bit and do stuff. So when people ask me, and Jennifer, you know, Benny Medina, and I know her whole team, they know me. They know where I'm from. They know we're from the same block. Her friends were my friends.
Yeah.
But Jennifer was not. She wasn't out like that.
Yeah.
You know, and she was a little older than I am. So by the time she got up and started doing her own thing, Jennifer was not doing anything on the block. That girl was headed for wherever she was going.
I don't know why she created Jenny from the block.
Yeah, no. Well, again, because that on the six hit me because that was our train. It was the local train. Plus, the reason why on the 6 hit me, and I'll get off of it, but you know, my grandmother took the 6 train every single day for 40 years to travel to her job on 34th Street.
Okay.
Every single day for 40 years.
Imagine.
She traveled that. That means she walked through a foot of snow.
Yeah.
She walked through
Snow,
ice,
sleet, ice,
rain. Her company did not close. She was there at work. You know, the fabric of our moms, is a different. They were built different, brother. Their grit was grittier.
Yeah.
Than most. So when people ask me about comedy and hard work, I go, you have no idea what hard work looks like. I do. I saw it every single day when my grandmother got up at 5 a.m. and used to get home at 6 p.m. and make a full meal. There was no vamos a salir. There was no we're going out to eat. A chicken was just starting to cook at 6 p.m. You know what I mean? A whole chicken, potatoes. It was just starting to cook. So I know what hard work looked like. So that's why, you know, so that part of the Bronx was, for me, was the beautiful part. Even when I went back recently, a week ago when I was performing in New York, it was just like you can go anywhere in the Bronx and feel unsafe, but when I get to my block, as safe can be. Nothing will happen to me here because I know.
So wild. I have a different perspective of going back to, like, anytime I'm in New York, I say, let's drive by my old block. And I do that with a different perspective. I go there to remind myself that the life I live is a privilege.
Yeah.
I go there to remind myself that if I fuck around too much, I might end up right back there. You know what I mean? And so for me, it's a reminder, like, hey, you don't want to be back here, do you? Mm-hmm. You know? You don't want to be jumping on the 4 train anymore, do you? I was laughing with my kid the other day. I told her I used to walk to school when I was in elementary school by myself. And I told her, and it was uphill both ways. And she's like, oh, here we go. And I go, I'm serious. Yeah. From Walton Avenue to the Grand Concourse was up. And then from the Grand Concourse to the school was back down. You know?
You got that hill waiting for you no matter what. You couldn't get around the hill, bro. And I know Walton Avenue, and I know the Ford train very, very well, and I know that area very well. So I know what you're talking about. You know, I really do. And the Bronx is not a place; it's a feeling. You know, and that's why I love going back.
What do you think that environment kind of taught you in life generally? Like that whole environment, because your Bronx experience is different than my Bronx experience, right? What did your Bronx growing up experience really teach you about life? How do you think it molded you?
I guess, you know, listen, my big take from being from the Bronx is that nothing can take you down. That things are going to happen. But based on what I learned in the Bronx, I know that all the armor I need to succeed, survive, and flourish, I already built it. I don't need anything more.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need anything more. I built it already. I built a very, very high, you know, I don't want to use the word tough because I feel like it's sort of cliche to say I'm a tough guy.
But is it wrong?
But it's not about wrong, but it's just not that easy.
Yeah.
Tough is almost like a bailout for me.
Okay.
It is one of the things is that I do have a toughness that I don't like to talk about, but I know that I earned it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I earned, like you said, walking that hill, bro. You're leveling just to save your kids. That extra thing. You're not telling them because that hill was shit, bro. It was them dudes waiting for you on the other side of that hill. It was that group that could have caught you on the other side of that hill, could have ended your life if they wanted to. Mm-hmm. And how many times did you, without even thinking about it, go up that hill, down that hill?
Yep.
And even as you got older.
And all the weather.
And all the shit. All of that. It gave you a spider sense that I can sense trouble coming long before it happens, brother. Something happens to me inside, and I look at my woman, I go, it's time to go.
Yeah.
And you know what she does? She gets the shit together, and we go. Because she knows that thing that you have, I trust.
Yeah.
Because it's been built
Yeah.
from all those possibilities.
I love the way that you explain that because I don't think I've ever been able to explain that, and listening to you say it makes so much sense.
It makes a lot of sense. To me, that's what I mean. Like, when people go, yo, did you fight? I had to fight. I had to fight.
There's no choice.
There's no choice. I had to fight. But the fact that conflict, most people run from, I don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
That's what the Bronx did to me.
Yeah, I love that.
So when people are running from fear, I'm headed towards. Weirdly, you know what I mean? I go, what happened? What's going on? You know?
Let me go see.
You ever see a crowd gathering around your kids? Do you go away?
Hell no.
Hell no.
Let me go see.
Hell no. That's the Bronx, because most parents will call their kids from the car and go, Joanne and Donovan, get in the car right now, from the safety of their vehicle.
Yeah.
Hell no. I'm over there. What's going on? What do you guys? What's this? What's this circle about?
Yeah.
Right. It is, bro. We just do things differently. We operate on a different operating system. And I think if you ask me how, why, and where, it's the Bronx.
Do you ever feel like sometimes that feeling that you're talking about, that built-in feeling, sometimes life is so good that it evades you for a minute, and then you like get caught up in something, you go, no, bro, I got to bring the Bronx back, bro. Like, I need Bronx. Where you at, bro? Come back. No? See, no. I get that sometimes.
No.
Like, sometimes I feel like I'm good, and then I'm like, oh, no, wait a minute. Like, I feel like I put my armor down.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Bro,
I'm glad you're good with that, bro.
Bro, I listen. When those hairs se me paran, when
that
that
spidey sense goes
when
on.
that something happens, I just give myself that minute to adjust, inspect quickly, maybe under a minute,
and move on.
And either I'm making a move or I was wrong. Yeah. I was wrong, and
I think, but
I let whatever happened pass. Maybe that's a little different than back in the days.
Yeah.
But I would say I let some 9 times out of 10, I'm being a bit much.
Yeah.
But that tiny one out of 10, I'm glad I picked my head up and looked around.
It's funny that you mentioned the group on the other side of the hill and stuff like that, because it's the first thing I thought about was like, when was the last time I had to worry about the group putting on my Yankee hat to leave the house, right? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, think about that for a minute, right? Like, now I put on a hat and I roll out. My kids are good. They don't worry about anything they're wearing. They go to good schools. They're in a good neighborhood. All that good stuff. But like, literally, as a kid, you grab that Yankee hat. You're like, man, do I want to fight for this today? You know what I mean? Like, is impressing that girl this serious that I want to fight for this
worth
today?
it? Yeah. We had all those, man. We had all that.
So you grew up with your grandma and your granddad.
Grandmother, my grandfather were the dominant raise,
Were your
couple that raised me.
But
My
were your
mom,
parents in the picture?
my dad wasn't. My
Okay.
dad was never in the picture. My
Okay.
father, and I say this because I want to get it out there. And I don't ever portray anyone as bad. I portray him as a product. My father went to Vietnam, fought for the United States as an Army Ranger, but Vietnam did not do well for him mentally.
Right.
It broke him, and he came back nothing. He came back mentally and emotionally broken. Yeah. And that's a likely story. A lot of Vietnam veterans went through that. And this was, and PTSD was called, what was it called? Shell shock. And,
Shell shock.
And other, it wasn't really PTSD back in the day. So it was undertreated. And so my father was never well mentally. So I'm grateful. I say this because a lot of men my age went through that. I'm grateful he wasn't around because I'm grateful I don't carry his demons. Yeah. I'm grateful for that. So, where people harbor a lot of hate and dissension against their parents, in this case, I don't. Do I wish I had a real dad? Bro, of course. I've been a real dad, so I know how when you give love that you've never gotten, it changes you. Yeah. And so I wish I wish I had a dad, but I didn't. So my mom was very, very young and alone. So her parents helped her.
How early did he walk away? Did he step away?
I was a baby. I was still in the tummy when he when he lost it, like hiding in closets.
Do you know where he is now? And
he passed away. He passed away because of the medication that they were giving him was so strong. Okay. It dissolved his organs basically little by little. So they were giving him a lot of psychotropic drugs that helped you mentally but destroyed you physically. Yeah. And that was just to have him be par for the course. Just to exist and be a normal sort of
functioning
human being. Yeah. He needed a lot of medication, And so I say that, like I said, because I have absolutely no, I don't look back and hold a grudge.
Well, I think, there's a good chance he was possibly completely incapable.
Exactly.
Of being a good father.
A good father.
Or a father, period. Yeah. Good or bad.
Yeah. So him not being there, again, like you said, when you started this, man, the blessing. The blessing is that he moved on and didn't allow me to be a part of that. Whatever that negative that he was going to be in my life, he kept that away. And I honestly, I couldn't thank him enough. Seriously, And so my grandmother, my grandfather, they really didn't have a choice because my mother was so young, only in her early 20s. And you know what you were like in your early 20s? I know what I was like. Yeah. And so, they stepped in and they basically raised me from baby all the way until I started school about, first grade. That's when my mother finished her bachelor's degree, but then she was off doing her master's degree. So my grandparents had to constantly step in. So, but you figure the first 8 years of your life, when you look at your kids from 1 to 8, it's the most important. Yeah. So that kind of...
it's weird because that's, that's their developmental stage, right? Yeah. That's when they pick up the most. But also, I think when they grow up a little bit more in their teenage years, they might pretend that they don't want you around. But they really
do need you the most at that time as well. Exactly.
Yeah, they really do need you.
Exactly. And then again, I say, without dissension, that my mom, I had a stepfather, that my mother's husband, but he was a raging alcoholic, and he wasn't there, and my mother was out chasing him. So when I did move in with my mom, I really didn't get her. Okay. I was sort of on my own.
What was that like? What was that like when you had to spend time with mom? What was that like for you? And did you feel any types of resentment in that situation? Or
see, this is the thing. When you're in it, you don't know to be resentful. You just only know that
it exists.
That it exists. That 'cause at that time it was me and my brother and I. So the person really caring for me was my brother. He was the one taking care of me because my mother would get out of work at 3 and not get home until 8. So there was about maybe 4 hours there that was unaccounted for, that my brother was taking care of me but he didn't have any tools. He was a kid.
Right.
You know, he wasn't. Sometimes sadly, like the Wonder Bread had green all over it, and my brother would say, I know you're hungry, but I don't know what to give you.
Yeah.
You know, I look and weirdly, you know, my fiance now, Danielle, who you have met, and you know, she's a sweetheart. Sometimes I just understand the depth of the pain that is, and why I love my brother so much. You know, my brother's a fantastic idiot. I say that because I don't know how else to describe him. He's the best person in the world, but he's a fucking idiot every day of his life. But I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I love that dude with every fiber of my humanity. I just love him.
Who he is and who he was.
And who he was. I don't care. I can't judge him, because without him, I would have been so alone in that hell. You know what I mean? To not have a meal, but to have a brother, shit, was comforting, you know, that we were starving together until. Yeah. But I remember my brother being on the phone with my grandmother and saying, "Mommy, I don't have nothing to give him. I'm hungry."
Yeah.
But I'm worried because he's crying because he's hungry.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. And my grandfather would have to leave the house, you know, and come and bring food that my grandmother made or whatever there was, because we were both in the Bronx, but two separate sides, you know, 30-minute drive away, you know. And so let's say we were by Gun Hill Road and my grandmother was over there on Castle Hill. That's a 30-minute drive, no matter how you look at it, especially 7 p.m. in New York traffic, you know. So I look back and I'm like, you know, it's just weird that even when she was there, she wasn't there. I don't know how to say that. And I know, but again, I know what a lot of us, meaning guys my age and people my age, I know what we went through. You know, parents were all over the damn place. They just weren't parents, you know, in the way that we are, is what I mean. The way you and I are, that we take this incredible pride in parenthood.
And being a parent.
And being a parent. We stand our ground. I'll be damned. I'm going to be at the football game. I know I got to work. But I'm, you know, the fact that they weren't there for anything that we were doing is sort of, when you look back, I'm like, that people don't understand. That's the hell that we had to kind of overcome.
Do you feel like overcoming that particular hell, as you say it, helped you become who you are today?
Without a doubt.
Like, without that, would you be who you are today?
No, without a doubt. But moreover, even what it, you know, it made me want to get it right.
Yeah.
So as a parent, you know, with my sons, it made me want to get it right, because I had been, you know, my grandmother, my grandfather did it right.
Yeah.
You know, they were, I think you and I have spoken about, they were the GOATs. They were the greatest of all time, because so many people now are driven by their child support checks and blah, blah, blah. My grandmother didn't get any of that. She got no help. My mother didn't help her with not one hot cent. This was a labor of love, man. She took care of us because she loved us and she had to.
Yeah.
And, you know.
She showed up when no one else
did. She showed up, bro. She showed up. And that right there, that's, you know, if you talk about Nobel Peace Prizes and accolades and flowers.
And the FIFA Nobel Prize.
And you see what I'm saying? But when people ask me, well, you know, you really talk about your mom on stage, I go, I can't. It wouldn't go well.
Yeah.
But the reason why I talk about my grandmother, my grandfather, every time I'm on stage, because they deserve that.
They deserve that glory.
They deserve the glory and those flowers.
So it's interesting that you said that, because I often hear that a lot of comedians take their pain and turn it into comedy, which would be taking the pain that you suffered with your mom and your brother and turning that into comedy. But your decision is, no, I don't want to bring that to light. I want to talk about the funny shit that happened with me and my grandmother and my granddad.
Yeah, the life that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
The life that I learned from. The one that molded me.
Which is contradictory to what a lot of people say. I think
Absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely. I'm taking the glory.
Yeah.
And making and giving those people that deserve it, I'm giving them an opportunity. Even though they've passed away, I want to always honor them.
Yeah.
And that incredible sacrifice.
Yeah.
By saying, I say it all the time. I call my mother Mom, you know? But my mom, my mother, is my grandmother. That's mommy. I always call my grandmother mommy every time. I do have a mother, and that's my mom in school.
And mom is still around?
My mother's still around. She
Your
lives
relationship with her
is very good because unlike my brother who runs from conflict, I've met my mother at the table, and I told her to her face, "You fucked up, but I forgive you.
Yeah.
You fucked up, but the way I parented was because of how you didn't." And just know that.
Do you ever feel like this is a vicious cycle, though? Like, I often say, my mom was a good mom.
Mm-hmm.
I often say my mom did the best she could do with the tools that she had at the time that she had it. Because there was no other way for her to do it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? There was no other way for her to do it. and she just did it. A lot of the stories that you talk about from stage, about you and your grandmother, are the stories I could completely repeat for me and my mom. You know? Like, I mean, hello, we grew up with Puerto Rican women, you know, in the Bronx, right? Like, that's, you know, like, you got chancleta, I got chancleta, bro.
Yes.
You got, my mom used to tell me, go get the belt. And I would come back with the featherest belt I could find out the
lightest
drawer.
one, bro.
The lightest one. And then she would tell me, no, you know better. And I would have to go get the leather one. And then there was the huélelo.
Yeah.
Smell the belt.
Or that snapping.
Smell that. Yeah, the snapping.
The snapping of it, and you knew.
And listen, all these traditions that I did not carry on.
Absolutely not.
I didn't carry those on. But I often think to myself sometimes, like I have an argument with my wife all the time. Not argument, but discussion, where we're too easy on the kids.
Yeah.
Like my kids have almost zero responsibility.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, they're like A+++ students. Like if there was a letter above A, they would be that student.
Yeah.
You know? And so, you know, my wife is like, yo, how do we, you know, it's like a bird in the hand or two in the bush kind of situation. Like, you can't be getting mad at them over. Like, listen, we went to go eat for my mother-in-law's birthday 2 nights ago, Sunday night. And my daughter was taking leftovers, right? Well, she puts it in the bag, she wraps it up, and she moves it over, and my wife picks it up, and I go, she can't carry home bag? What is that? You know? Like in my brain, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? And my wife goes, does it bother me? And I'm like, oh, we're too easy on these kids, you know? And so I worry about whether or not, you ever heard the story like my grandfather used to walk to work 6 miles every day. And my father drove a regular car to work every day. And I drive a nice car to work every day, and my son's gonna have a Rolls Royce every day, and his son's gonna walk to work every day.
Right.
Like, do you ever feel that parenting has that same kind of cycle where maybe we are who we are with our kids, and then hopefully they pick up all the good shit and do the same thing? But at what point does it break again? Where somebody's going, go get me the belt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, you know. You hope. The whole thing is that with your kids, you don't know, you know? Yeah. Because your kids never, like, you know, it's weird. You know, you don't know what you're building until you can see them building their
result.
Own.
Yeah.
Right. And so, you know, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet, you know? So I haven't seen what my youngest son is going to be like as a man just yet. So
how old is he now?
He'll be 23, you know, he's 22. So, but he's starting to start his life.
Yeah.
Whereas when I was his age, I had already started.
Yeah.
I had his brother already at 22.
Yeah.
So I had already started. But that's because, again, I started young because I was very anxious to change the cycle.
Yeah.
I was hell-bent.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe I had such fuck-ups for parents, you know, for two parents. And you got to look at it that way. Yeah. That's okay. Like I said, it's okay as long as everybody can own their fuck up. It's weird.
Yeah.
You know, my mother has a master's degree and she's incredibly, incredibly smart at books. you know? Yeah. But in life, she's made some really dumbass decisions, you know? Yeah. And I remember hardest thing I've had to say to my mom was, it's unfortunate that you loved your husband more than you loved your kids.
Yeah. Well, that's tough. That's tough.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
You know, because that was her sacrifice was to keep him happy.
Yeah.
while turning her back on us.
Yeah.
And that's because we weren't his kids.
Right.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a shitty place.
It's a shitty situation.
It's a shitty, it's like you said, watching her in that divide, fail us. Have I gotten past it? Yeah. Does she deserve to be forgiven for it? Of course not. Of course not. Because we needed a mom.
Yeah.
You know, we needed a mom. And then, but again, without knowing that my grandmother was stepping up in such an incredible way, superhero status, bro.
Yeah.
Superhero status.
At what point did you recognize that? Like at what point in your life where you're like, oh shit, my grandmother's a badass?
I was like 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
I was like 18, 19 years old. And I was just like, this little unsuspecting woman. I watched her manage money that wasn't coming in.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah,
You ever watch somebody manage $100?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like it's $1 million?
Absolutely.
20 pesos para acá, 30 para acá,
Yeah.
20 here, 10 there,
Yeah.
$5 for you. I have $5 back then to take you to McDonald's.
Yeah.
I can get you a Happy Meal. Out of that $100, she made miracles.
Yep.
Money to me is so stupid. But in that realm of understanding that we need money to move things
Trade.
around.
Yeah.
But back then, bro, it was like when you see people do a lot with so little, shit, you can't tell me nothing about it.
Yeah.
We can't have a conversation about, I want to make 70 million by next year, 80 million by the year after, 400 million by the end of the time. For what? I'll ask you this. If you had that $400 million, tell me how happy you'd be if Jennifer left and if your kids didn't talk to you.
Yeah.
You had all this money.
Yeah.
But those
Money's not the
people that
thing.
mean the most didn't give not fucking one shit about you.
Yeah.
Tell me what you would look like.
Neither.
Even if you can buy all the pussy on the planet and think that you're happy for those 10 minutes you can get it, that wouldn't, you know what I mean? That you wouldn't give up that 400 million
At the end of the day, you're
to
still
have the
alone.
little that you had, but you
Yeah.
had that woman next to you that you laughed with. That when you cried, she held you. When you woke up in fucking sweats, she was there with a towel. Man, I wouldn't give that shit up for nothing in the world. You see
Nothing
what I
in the
mean?
world.
But that's
Nothing in the
because my
world.
grandmother did so much with 100 that I realized that's the most important thing is that.
That's an incredible lesson
Yeah.
to walk away with.
Yeah.
So at some point when you were younger, somebody said to you, "You're so funny, you should be a comedian." At some
That was
point.
everybody.
That was some point.
It's different. It's different if it was a person, but it was like
It was everybody.
Bro,
How
everybody,
old were you
bro.
when it was like, boom, it hit? Like you felt like, oh shit, man, like I'm having too much fun right now with this comedy thing.
Okay, so when comedy really became a possibility was when I worked in a gym, because, I had like a group setting
Yeah.
where I can be. I was weird. I could be funny, and like a group would gather and hear me do my Latina isms and play around and bro, staff, members of the gym, guests would be surrounding me while I performed these skits before I ever did stand up.
How did that make you feel? Like I feel like we skipped a couple parts, but like when you're younger, right? Before the gym, let's go before the gym. When you're younger and people go, "Oh my God, you're so funny, you should be a comedian." Like how did that make you feel? Like were you did you feel like, oh, that's a possibility? Or did you feel like, haha, I just want to be more funny because they're enjoying it? Like what was the feeling
Yeah.
going through your body?
The organic part of being funny
Yeah.
is that you just want to make people laugh.
Yeah.
You're going for a laugh. And so I was always well prepared. But again, it's because of the time of when you and I grew up, we grew up in front of television.
Mm-hmm.
And the beautiful part of the time that I grew up, there was comedy from early till late.
Yeah.
So we had reruns of I Love Lucy.
Yeah.
We had reruns of the Three Stooges, the Three Stooges, Laurel and Hardy. I even had in the Spanish channel, they were playing Cantinflas.
We had Peg
They
and
were
Al.
playing El Chapulín Colorado. They were playing. I had comedy in English and Spanish all day. And at night, I had Three's Company. I had Soap. I had Mork and Mindy. You know,
Oh,
these were
Morgan
shows.
Mid,
I had, you know, you big dummy. I had Red Fox, who was at that time, he was already a viejo, but he'd been a comedian his
for
whole
so long.
life.
Yeah.
So I had Red Fox on television. I had Chico and the Man. I saw Latino on TV.
What was the name of the show? Moving on up.
Yeah,
You know
the
what I'm talking about?
Jeffersons.
The Jeffersons.
Man, I had all those incredibly funny shows happening all in one day.
Al Bundy and Peg.
Yes, but like I said, but like you know the what is that one? One day, Sunday, happy days.
Happy Days.
I
yeah.
had Laverne and Shirley, which to this day makes me laugh more than everything.
None of that
you know?
nothing like that existed.
Nothing that
wholesome. Wholesome is what it was. It was wholesome comedy.
And what I would do was, as a kid, weirdly, still works for me to this day, is I have a great memorization. I would redo the entire scene and play all the characters in my house after the shows would go off. And my grandmother, my grandfather would die. Like, they would look at me like, what the fuck? Dave,
I'm honestly, I'm
talking about
picturing this, but in my mental frame,
Bro.
you have a small body with the same head. That's what I see.
Bro, in my Incredible Hulk fucking pajamas and shit. Remember they had those, the Scooby-Doo pajamas?
Yeah.
Like, in those little pajamas, I was going Laverne, and just repeating with voice, context.
And playing with it.
And I could mimic dialects. And there was a show called Benny Hill back in the days.
Yes.
And I would I would do all that shit. I could even speak with an English accent to portray them. And this was at 9 years old.
Yeah.
And
that was the naughty shit.
Yes.
That
and then at about around 9, 10 years old, on Saturday night, a guy named Eddie Murphy would come on TV.
Oh.
And he was on a show called Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And then I would imitate Eddie and Joe Piscopo and everybody, until 1 o'clock in the morning. My grandmother died. So that funny that tú si eres un charlatán, I remember my grandmother would say that.
Yeah.
That funnyism, that funny thing I was doing, honestly.
Did you feel like before that really started to come into your life, did you have any like insecurity with it, or you were like all in?
I was all in.
Yeah.
I was all in.
So now you get to the gym. Now you get a crowd forming.
Now I got a crowd, and that's where it all started. A gym member came up to me and he goes, "Have you ever done comedy before?" And I go, "No, I'm a bodybuilder." This was when I was like competing. I'm like, "No, I'm on stage showing my muscles off. I don't know what you're talking about." And he goes, "No, you're a comedian." He said that to me. His name was Leon. You're a comedian. And I said, "No, I'm a bodybuilder, dude. This is what I do. I train all day long." So he goes, I got a friend of a friend of a friend. He runs the Apollo Theater. I want to get you in. I just want them to see you. Would you mind coming by? And I go, "What day, what time?" I got to tell my boss. He goes, "Yeah, come next Wednesday. And I want them to see you but do this bit that you did today with the girls at the aerobics class." Because back then, I had a girlfriend who was teaching aerobics.
Okay.
So what I would do is, before her class, it's the only time I got to see her because I was working. Before her class, I would go downstairs because the aerobics was downstairs. I would go downstairs, and I would do a pre-class. And I would act like, the women, and I'd be like, "Come on, get up, girls, and 2 and 3 and 4." And my girlfriend would be crying. And all the women that were taking the class, I didn't know I was doing stand-up, but I was. Because it was 50 girls.
And they were dying.
In their little spots. My girlfriend at the time, and then, and I didn't realize that the two locker rooms were exiting, right? I had a group of those people watching me. So I don't know, 100 people watching me do a fake aerobics class. 10 minutes before my girlfriend started her aerobics class at 6.
Wow.
So I'm over here goofing around, jumping around like an idiot, and 7, 8, 9, and lift and go and put it out there, girls. And I'm, bro, it was a full skit. It was a full skit. this guy goes, so I go to the Apollo, and honestly, that's when comedy for me was realized. I went to the Apollo. They saw it. They laughed. The executive producer at the Apollo goes, who the fuck are you? Where'd you come from? You are hilarious. We want you to come back for showtime at the Apollo. And I'm just being honest with the audience. I went there. I saw lights, camera, action. I told them that I wasn't feeling so well, and I saw the back door, and I went home. I took the 1 train, and I went right back home. I just said, I'm not for this. 7 years after that is when I literally did my first stand-up at a comedy club. 7 years after.
No shit.
It took 7 years to build up the
courage
and courage to actually write comedy and go do it.
All right, so take me back, because I'm sure everyone listening to this right now was like, this is the pinnacle moment. And then you fucked everybody up.
And I fucked it up. It's so like, it's like a cliffhanger, but then there's no payoff,
so
bro.
I walk into Apollo, and I see lights, camera, action, and I rolled out.
Bro, you don't understand. I was like that, look. Because you start seeing the real, like, suits, and you start producers, people putting, the microphones through and stand here and look over there and don't touch that. And, speak on that, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I mean, me cagué. I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? I work at Bally's Total Fitness.
Do you ever think, like, ever sit down and daydream what it would have been like?
My life,
I'm sure.
My life, bro, when I think about it, my life would have been absolutely so different, because I look at Chappelle and Fluffy, who started their careers in their teenage years, and I go, I'm grateful I waited 7 years. I'm not resentful. I'm grateful, because God only knows what would have happened had I gotten on
drugs, alcohol,
at 19, just the influence,
the
women,
the travel,
everything. God
17 kids, 18 different mamas.
Everybody who you watch and you see, like I said, Chappelle is like that one person that I'm like, I watch very carefully, because it's a story of, right? It's Tale of Two Cities,
and
offered $50 million and literally had to back it down because of the fear of what he could potentially be, what this could potentially mean. And also, who's in control at that point.
Right.
So I'm grateful, because at starting 7 years later, the focus was a lot different. And the energy was different, because now I had and especially now,
But that 50, night, though, you're sitting on the train, you're headed back home. Like, what's in your head right now?
I should turn back. I used to go back, but then they won't have me back because I left, Yeah. Like it was 1,000 emotions on that one train, on the one train back home. It was disappointed. I was mad, and I was also safe. The one thing about entertainment, bro, is an unsafe space. It's an unsafe space. For anybody wanting to do this or dreaming of doing it, you see actors, fresh new actors, you see the look on their face. It's one of fear, it's not one of, excitement and like drive. It's more fear. It's fear of failure. It's being turned down. It's the fear of like, you're not good enough. Comedy, it's like that. In the beginning, it's a very tough world, Entertainment in the beginning, it sucks.
It's like one of those things where you think about like, I want to be famous, and then you think, but do I want to carry the burden of fame?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, can I be famous and still be like who I am today? Like,
it's a trade.
It's a trade.
You can't have them both. I can't have them both. The fact that airports are, a place where even TSA workers gotta come take pictures, and I got a flight to catch, and then when I get to the gate, there's more pictures. There's more. Aren't you the, you know what I mean? But
are you the Latin assassin?
Whatever it is that they want to say, you gotta eat that.
Yeah.
Even though you're exhausted, you got 2 hours of sleep. They don't know that you got to take the worst shit of your life. You're just where you don't want to miss your flight.
Yeah.
Can I get a picture? And you're like, ay, voy a cagar. Get away, get away from me. But nobody, you give to get.
Yeah.
You give to get. I don't ever, I realize at this point, I never want to be without being known, but at least I'm known for being funny.
Yeah.
I'm not known for estupidez or tonteria. Or I saw you in that movie where you remember when you were Jonathan and, and I'm like, wherever people see me and they know me for being Mark. And I love
being
that part.
Mark.
Just be Mark. Love that.
That is awesome. I can imagine what you're thinking on that train, like on the way back. Did your grandparents know that you were going to do this?
No, nobody
you were
did.
on your
Only
way?
my mom. Only my mother knew.
Okay.
Only my mother. I told
And
my
when you
mother,
came
Mom, they
back
want me to go
home
to
and
the
you-
Apollo to be funny. My mother goes, Mark, you are funny. You are funny. You should go. And that's
And
why
so
I went.
when you came back home and you go to Mom and you go,
I told her the truth.
bounced. What did she
I
say?
told the truth. I said, Mom, I got scared. She goes, I knew it. I knew it. She didn't even. We never talked about it.
Didn't even
again.
have to talk
We
about
didn't
it
even talk
anymore.
about it again. I go, Mom, I got I saw those people with cameras. I saw, these people kept coming up to me and putting stuff on me and clipping me and telling me to. I said, Mom, I got scared. I didn't know what to do, and I didn't. Also, I said I forgot what I was gonna say. What act I was gonna do. I don't know if I was gonna do the aerobics act or this act. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I got scared and I left. She said, "You have your chance again."
Yeah.
She wasn't
And you
wrong.
did.
She wasn't wrong.
She wasn't wrong, and you did.
She wasn't wrong.
When was the 7 years later? What happened? What was like the
I
thing that
I was
happened
working
17 years later?
I was working a really shitty job, but I was getting paid pretty good at that time.
Okay.
And I realized that this money was not happiness. That this money was just money. It was making everybody else happy but me. Money's a weird thing. It's a weird thing to me. And I know I get a lot of, even my own fiance, we have such a different feeling about money texture-wise. I was making good money at the time, maybe $60,000 at the time,
the time,
which
yeah,
at that time in the 90s, it's good money. It's good money. It was a good, I don't say that like, I just mean as far as working class, right? Which I was, blue collar guy. This is what I was making at that time. And I was like, it's definitely enough to pay $1,500 in rent and have a new car type of lifestyle. I wasn't, it's not enough to vacation in Madrid and do all that kind of shit.
It was middle class
But
life
it's middle
in the
class,
90s,
you vacation, in Aruba,
Chacho May.
for $1,100 all in and you're good.
I went, I'm laughing because I'm like, yo, you were way ahead of me.
Yeah.
In 95, 96, I was early in the Marine Corps. I think my first year, I made $12,000 the whole year.
And
I'm like, you made 60?
Whoa! Yeah, exactly. So I was just in this dead end space. And it wasn't so much when you're in a dead end job that you're, I wasn't growing in here.
Right.
It was one of those jobs that was so mundane and so brutal when it came to, people who are creative. The one thing you can't do is go like this.
Yeah.
Because that's when you feel the most
Stuck. Yeah.
Like you feel like you can't get out of a box. Claustrophobic. When someone says, don't think. Don't think. I want you to get up, go like this, hands down, hands up, hands down, and sit down again. Every day, I want you to get up, hands up. Bro, as a creative person, that is prison. I was imprisoned and needed to get out. So I started taking these little writing courses. I took this one course in Manhattan because then I was working in the Bronx and I could go to Manhattan on the 4 train.
Yeah.
On the, what is that? The Express.
The Express, yeah.
And I'm downtown in 20 minutes.
Yep.
Took a writing course, and then after that writing course, I took a workshop from the comedy club, from Stand Up New York, where they had, once you're done with your course, if you want to perform, we will give you 5 minutes. That was February 2001. It's December of 2025, and I've not stopped doing comedy since that day. I've never taken a day off, a weekend off, or nothing. Not where I didn't anticipate.
Right.
But I haven't been off.
You've
the
just been all
stage
in
since 2001. So
That's
now,
incredible, man.
I've never put it down. COVID, nothing stopped the creativity. But in the beginning, that was the beginning. That was the first day and the end of living a normal life. Because once you do that, and once you start to become friends with other comedians, now the creativity is on turbo.
So what was that decision making process like? Like, I understand that you weren't crazy about your job, but there was a steady income there, and now you make this decision to be a broke comedian because every new comedian is a broke comedian, right?
Yeah.
It's like a singer, actor, like it's creative work, and you're banking that you're going to do the work necessary to make it.
Yeah, but you don't. Dave, it doesn't even work that way. I was doing comedy I had gotten on TV and was still at my day job. Not the sucky one. I wound up leaving that job, thank God, and going to a really better job.
Okay.
And the beauty about the new job that I took was that I was very honest with my new boss. And I told her, I do stand-up comedy at night. I just want to tell you. So some days I won't be able to get in super early because I've been out all night. Is that okay with you? I'll work later, but sometimes I can't be in at like 8:30. And she said, you work, I was a director already by then.
Yeah.
And she goes, you work the hours that you work. As long as you get your hours in, I have no issue with that. She goes, I'm the same way. I come in a little later, but I work until 7 p.m. every night. I said, we'll be here until 7 every day together. Because I was leaving that job at 7, and instead of going home, I was going straight to Manhattan, and I was performing from 8 until midnight.
Every night?
Mm-hmm. Every single night. And for no pay. At that time, very little, if 0 to no pay. But there were shows out Long Island. There were shows all over the place. But that's what I did. I made my money in the daytime.
And these people that own these places that you're performing at,
they make a killing.
They make a killing on alcohol and food, y esto, y otro, and they look at you and go, nice job, buddy. Pat on the back. You're welcome to come back tomorrow if you want.
Here's the thing, so you know. Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, Robin Williams, Billy Crystal, Tracy Morgan, they were regulars coming in and out of those comedy clubs. Making no money, Robin Williams would come in and do a set for free. He was a guest. Jerry Seinfeld, free. They come in and do a guest spot, they're not getting paid, but they're working. That's how you learn that this art of comedy is something that you work. And you do it for free until someone's willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
Then when they pay for it, then the ceiling becomes limitless. Because Chappelle can charge $50 million for one special. He's done that.
Yeah.
And they've paid it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But the reason why they paid it is because the times that he was out there for free, he was learning his stroke.
Built it up.
Right? Picasso had a bunch of shit that was valued at 0.
Yeah, that we don't know anything about.
Pero se murió él, right? Now he's dead. Go ahead and find one of those sketches now.
Yeah.
And they're worth hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
So it's because he was...
And
he had to become Pablo Picasso.
Right.
He wasn't Pablo Picasso then. He was just whatever his nickname was, Pasito, whatever they called him back in the days, right? So I say that. Chappelle he wasn't running around with a C on his shirt, and he wasn't shit. He was just Dave doing a free spot at Stand Up New York. And so was Tracy Morgan, and so was the rest of us. We were just getting on. Now we could demand a figure. Now we could demand it. Back then... While you're learning, nobody gets paid to learn. Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody. Bill Burr, master comedian, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I used to see him daily.
Yeah.
Jim Norton, these guys who are now, forget it.
Huge names. Yeah.
Huge names. Like I said, ask if they were sitting here now, they would tell you Mark's not lying. To get $100. $100. I did 9 sets, and at the end of the day, if I made a few $100, fucking lucky between food and car fare, and because New York City, no matter what, you got to take a cab up and down.
Yeah.
Or because the train is the train, you're at the mercy of the schedule.
Time of the train.
But when you got to set at one place in New York, and then you got to go down to the village, or into the 20s. Sometimes you can take the train. Sometimes you got to jump in a cab, man, and those cabs are $15, $20. It's hurting your overhead, So yeah.
That's so wild to me. So I want to take you to another place, your son.
Yes.
So let's talk about that for a moment.
Okay.
So your son is in heaven with God today.
He's in heaven.
What happened?
I guess for those who don't know the journey of my life, my son Mark bought a motorcycle on a Thursday off a whim. The motorcycle was was worked on, and it was fairly new, but it had been customized, would say.
Yeah.
And the owner of that motorcycle was incarcerated. He'd been just put in prison. His family brought it to this motorcycle shop to sell it because they needed money for his legal fees and such. So it was one of the only things he owned was that custom bike. They bring it into the shop. My son is in that shop by chance. He's with his mother's boyfriend who's buying some ATVs, the four-wheelers.
Yeah.
And there was a discrepancy. My son and his mom's boyfriend, they're leaving the store. My son sees this motorcycle being brought in and hears the story. My son at the time was buying cars and fixing them and selling
and flipping
them.
cars.
Flipping cars. Buying them at $3,000 or $4,000. They need spark plug doesn't start, whatever. He get it started, clean it up, sell it for a couple $1,000s, make $2,000-$3,000 profit. It was a side gig. He just loved it. He loved cars and he loved fixing them. And so he sees this motorcycle and he tells the family, "How much do you want for it?" So Mark says, "Well, how much do you want for it?" They go, "The bike's worth like $8,000-$9,000. We'll take whatever." My son goes, "I'll give you $3,500 cash right now." And they go, "We'll take it."
Wow.
He buys this motorcycle on Thursday. His mother's boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend, gives fronts him the cash because Mark didn't have the cash. He had it at home. So he tells him, "I'll give you the cash. I have it at home. Front me the cash." So he gives Mark the $3,500. Mark then takes the motorcycle home. That was Thursday. Friday night, I'm performing at Caroline's on Broadway in Manhattan, the biggest comedy club in the city at the time. I have my own Mark Viera weekend at Caroline's. For those of you that don't know Caroline's on Broadway, it's right next to where Hamilton is.
Wow.
I mean, you're talking the epicenter.
The main
the
Broadway.
epicenter of Broadway, right?
Right.
Between all the Lion King is on one side, Hamilton's on the other side. All this shit's happening.
Huge weekend.
In front of Caroline's on Broadway is Mark Viera tonight here at the world famous Caroline's on Broadway. My son brings 30 of his friends. We have the time of our lives. My son goes to work on Saturday, sleeps in, has brunch with his friends, gets on the motorcycle, is involved in an accident, and doesn't survive. 3 days with that motorcycle. Bought it on Thursday, accident on Sunday. Violent accident. Motorcycles are unforgiving. I think they're unforgiving. And we all know somebody who's been involved or whatever, right. and it's life-changing. In this case, he didn't, that was the last ride.
How did that challenge you?
Dave,
because
it's still challenging me. It's not that it challenged me. It's the biggest challenge of my life.
How is that challenging? And I want to look at this in a bunch of ways, right? Because I know you're a faith-driven man, right? So what does that do to your faith? And for parents out there, because I want this to be a message for fathers who have lost and fathers who have never lost. Like, I want to really help them understand what this looks like.
So in the beginning, it is the end. You don't see a future beyond losing your kid. You just don't. And I think this is where I feel like I could be the most helpful, is that you small bite this thing instead of trying to ingest this all at one time and deal with every emotion in one moment. It's impossible. Because I had another son. Mark wasn't the only one. So you wind up being crushed about 15 times. I'm the man of the house. I'm his dad. I have to call my mom and tell her grandson didn't make it. I have to call my brother and I have to say, Carlos, your nephew didn't make it. You know, I have to deal with my son who lost his brother. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
I have to deal with his mom who also lost her son. I had to deal with Danielle who lost her best friend. You know, Mark and Danielle had an incredibly special relationship. I had to learn really quick that even though I couldn't even deal with my shit, I had to deal with everybody else's shit too.
And I think that's the big part of this, because as the man, which, I mean, this is who we talk to on this show, right? As the man, we know that it's not a sentiment you can just put away, but at the same time, it's a sentiment you need to temporarily kind of put in your pocket to pull back out later, because there's so many other people that are going through the same thing, yet somehow they all depend on you.
On you. Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing, this is not a training for anyone, because I told you, I'm incredibly undertrained in this topic. When I got this news, the problem was I didn't have time. I knew that I had to be there to hold my son. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To hold his mom and our family together, because this will disintegrate everything, you know? And so there's strength you don't know you have. There's power that you don't know you need. There's faith that you don't expect to lean on, even though you've been faithful your whole life, and hope that God can hold you up in these moments. But boy, does it seem rather lonely when you are, when you're confronted, Yeah. I say that because I know you're a Marine, and it's like you're on the battlefield and there's a bunch of dudes with you, and you got one that's your boy and he doesn't make it, but you got one dude that you could potentially save. It's like you got to make these like knee-jerk sort of decisions to not only think of saving yourself. You got one that you couldn't, but you got one that you could. So I got to save me and him. That really is what happened to me.
You're in the air mask.
Position,
right?
Yeah,
where you have to put the air mask on them first before
yourself. And so that's exactly what happened. I go, if I don't make this, it's okay. I'm his dad. People would anticipate that I couldn't survive this, but I gotta help my son.
Yeah,
I gotta help my son. I gotta help his mom. I gotta help my mom. I gotta help everybody else. I gotta do that. In case something happens to me, I need for them to be okay.
To be okay.
Because
the fabric of an entire family can fall apart.
Yeah.
On the loss of a child.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So that gearing up process to do that, bro. This is why I know I'm gonna be, okay in this journey till I'm to my last minutes, is because of what I was able to do in the first minutes.
Because those minutes define
everything.
Define everything. Because there's gonna be the man who does what you did, and then there's gonna be the man who cowers and is so broken that he can't do anything for anybody else.
And I don't want anyone to feel weak in that moment.
No,
because you are undressed in that moment. You have nothing. Yeah. You have nothing. But hopefully you have something left that you can pick yourself up and sort of go on and have some level of strength, because some people are going to need you to hold them up, even when you don't have the strength to hold yourself up. And I'm honest, I couldn't hold myself up, bro. This was all debilitating. This was done. It was done. I had nothing. But whatever I had left, whatever ounce of strength that I had left, was to hold my youngest son up and say, I got you. I got you.
I don't know. I don't even know how
Don't.
Yeah. Like
I
don't
told
e-
you
I don't-
when we spoke about it, when it happened.
Yeah.
And you said, Mark, I can't. I said, David, don't you dare. Don't you dare. 1 minute without any one of those kids. It will redefine everything.
Everything about you.
Everything about you.
Did you find out, were you still in New York or were you already back?
I had just landed in Florida.
Wow.
The accident happened at 5:30 p.m. I just landed in Florida, and hand to God, this is true. I had just taken the most splendid nap. I had been working all weekend.
Yeah.
From Friday.
You passed out on the flight.
Saturday. Finally, I get, 4 shows, packed out, New York City. I get home. I swear to God, I was watching TV, then the TV was watching me, bro. I was like that. I wake up, and as soon as I wake up, man, my phone is ringing. It's my son. It's Xavier. And I pick up, and he says, Dad's, Marky's been in an accident. The ambulance took him, and first thing I told my son, relax. Marky's going to be okay. Go to the hospital. He said, I don't think it's good, Daddy. I go, I know. It's okay, Xavier. It's okay. Whatever happens, just go to the hospital. Let me know what happens. I'm here, and I can be there if you need me. And that's when the drama, the drama of the day began. Yeah. And I got to New York that night. I don't ever want anybody to think it's the worst day of my entire life. There's, without a doubt, unequivocally, there has never been a day worse than that. Period. But we took that day, that moment, all of us, and we're all here today.
It sounds like you took it on the chin, and I mean that in a way that because my follow-up questions for you are the obvious, right? What does that do to your faith? What does it do for your idea of how you move forward? Like, at that moment, do you even see yourself on stage anymore? Like, you just, what's going through your head? Because we can fast forward. Everybody knows you're still on stage. You're still doing the damn thing. You're living an extremely positive lifestyle, which we'll get into. But at that moment, what does your future to you look like? Are you even thinking about it? Like, does it even, like, are you like, that's it, I can't anymore, that's it? Or,
life ends. You start, life ends. I don't even see myself breathing, living, talking, being funny. None of it. You don't know. You see a kid born in a hospital, you see them in a fucking morgue. That's the end of life, brother. There is no sunny days. There's no more vacations and wherever the fuck you thought you were going. You see a kid in a fucking morgue. That shit's the worst.
No parent should have to go through that.
This shit's the worst.
Our kids are supposed
When
to
they pull the
outlive us.
blanket over their face and that's your baby. That's just the worst. It should end you, bro. And it did. But then there's a rebirth because you want to honor them. You don't want to let them down. You don't want their life to be a story not told. And that shit I embraced.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not going to do what most dads think they're going to do.
Yeah.
Most dads will say, I can't make it.
Yeah.
I feel you. If you say that, I feel you, dude. Because I felt that way.
Yeah.
For the first 6 months, I said, I'd rather be with him than here. I'd rather be wherever the fuck he is. I'd rather be there than here dealing with this hell on earth without him. But those ideas fade if you got the right people around you. If you got that right faith,
Yeah.
Because when you talk about my faith, and I have this argument with pastors and my friends who from the church that embrace me constantly and tell me to come see them. I always say, I still believe in God, but now I got a bone to pick.
Yeah.
I still believe in him.
Yeah.
But boy, do I have a bone to pick with that
It
dude.
definitely tests your faith.
it's a test, bro.
Yeah.
It's a test, and sometimes you got to redefine your faith.
You have to question that, right?
And you got to question it. Why did you give me him only to take him? You know? And that's not. Here's the thing. What I realized, Dave, in this whole thing is that's not a question for any of us. I'll have my day.
Yeah.
Have my day.
Yeah.
So in between now and the day that I get to ask our beloved Maker, why'd you do that shit to me? I gotta do this. I gotta sit in chairs and tell the story of the most beautiful person I ever met in my life, and that's my son.
Gene, pass him that box of tissues.
I'm good. I'm good.
You sure?
I'm good.
All right.
Yeah. So I like I honor him by telling people, you have no idea. You have no idea how sweet, how big, how muscular, how strong, but how gentle, and how awesome Mark is and will always be that.
You're continuing performing. You're living your life to the best of your ability in his memory now.
Absolutely.
Is that what you feel the rebirth is? Like, because you said something that struck me. You said you everything dies and then you have a rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't a continuation of life. It was almost like a new you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Who's the new you versus the old you?
I guess now the Mark that I am, that I am after dealing with this incredible loss, I guess is just, I guess it's just a me that doesn't care anymore about how Earth is seeing me. I really don't care about that anymore. Now I care that the Earth is ready for how authentic, how real, and how uninhibited my art is now, now going to be. Because now I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't care if you like me. This shit ain't about like no more. This shit is about this funny.
Yeah.
I've been through hell and high water to tell my story. And now I'm going to tell it. But I'm going to tell it with no guardrails. I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm going to tell you that I am a complete fuck up. I've married and divorced because I'm a fuck up. But just because I was a fuck up doesn't mean that I'm always going to be a fuck up. And what you're seeing is a person who lives every day healing a little bit, even from the loss of my son, but also for allowing myself to get lost in a marriage that wasn't for me.
Right. Right.
And those things weirdly are like this.
They correlate with each other.
They're sort of neck and neck when it comes to tragedy. Yeah. I've lived a bit of a tragic, existence because I was in a marriage that wasn't good, but I felt like I wasn't good. So I was in the kind of marriage I deserved.
Yeah.
And that weirdly is a skin you have to remove.
Right.
Physically.
Right.
Yeah. And then you have to forgive yourself for even allowing that skin to be on you. And then only then is there a growth.
An opportunity for growth.
How many men are walking out there blaming a chick for who they've been?
Yeah.
You're full of shit and you're without accountability to say, no.
Yeah.
I'm a fuck up.
Yeah.
I let that woman in because I'm a fuck up,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth.
I allowed her in.
I allowed those people in. But so many men and so many people in general would rather pass the blame than own it. And I think that's who people know now.
Yeah.
They know a dude that I'm an unfeathered, unbothered human being, meaning no matter what, I've engaged with the person that I needed to engage. That's me. I needed to be comfortable with the dude that I am. I'm this man I've all kind of fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's okay.
It's almost like you've faced the absolute worst tragedy that you could ever face So what the fuck is next?
What the fuck is next?
Yeah.
Let's get to it.
Yeah.
Let's get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready for, now weirdly, I'm ready for it all because there's nothing left, man. The money doesn't bother me. The not money doesn't bother me. The not this doesn't bother me. So let's get to it. Let me tell my story. Let me color the lines the way I color them, and let's have a blast. I want to enjoy this now.
What are some of the hard moments? Like I know that you're in a very positive space right now, but what are some of the hard moments? Those quiet moments, like.
David, so people know, man. Every day I live a nightmare. Every single morning I live a nightmare of another day without him. That's the shame in death. Is that especially with a parent, you sort of understand that they had to go. With your kid, you'll never comprehend that part. Why they had to go. So every day I live a nightmare, but I post nightmare every morning when I see his urn and his photos, and I realize it's real. Then I get to cry. Then I get to live.
Yeah.
And that's how I look at this shit every day. I get to cry. I don't give a fuck if you judge me for crying.
It's different.
I don't
get to
care.
cry.
I get to cry.
I have an opportunity to.
Man, I'm blessed to cry for him.
Yeah.
And I know he knows that I'm crying for him.
Yeah.
Because he knows how much I love him.
Yeah.
But then I get to live. And damn it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna live. I'm gonna tell my story and his. I'm gonna make him proud because no one, like I said, before the accident, what was he doing? He was hanging out with his dad at a comedy show, telling people that's my dad. Like, that's my dad. My dad is fucking great. Like, so I need to uphold that high level of what I do because he sure did. He sure, weirdly, your kids, and I know even though they don't tell you, you're the hero, bro. And I was his.
And you only hope and pray that you are. You hope and pray that you are. Your grandfather, Korean war hero, awesome dude all the way around, right? He said
he was the biggest fuck up, but he was mine.
Yeah.
That was my pops,
Yeah.
Poppy was yeah, man. That dude, man. He was
he said something to you. He said, approach life with unwavering courage.
Courage. That was his mantra.
Approach life with unwavering courage.
Yeah.
You think early words like that helped you get through this?
When I was 4, I remember him saying, I didn't fight in a war because I was tough. I fought in a war because I had courage to fight. I had a special courage to wake up, put on that uniform.
And go do that every day.
And go do that shit. I had to wake up in foreign lands. I had to wake up and train. I had to wake up and do shit that I did not want to do based on the courage that I had to do it. And he told me, if you live your life that way, there's nothing you won't be able to do. Yeah. Not one fucking thing can ever stand in your way. Have the courage to face it. And that's why I became a comedian. That's why you talk about leaving the day job. That motherfucker woke up in Korea in the middle of winter, mortar shells, grenades.
Yeah.
And he got out. He survived. He did it.
Listen, those old school war vets, bro, that's a whole different breed.
It's a whole different breed. They didn't have the Gore-Tex lining. No. They didn't have the fucking, the pants with
everything was heavier.
Tri-layer. Everything was heavier. Everything was made of pure wool and it stunk from here to hell. Yeah. When it got wet and he persevered. He was able to guide us, love us, and show us. And that line, that unwavering courage, again, till this day, I swear to you, the reason why you go see me on stage now and what you see is what you see is because I don't no longer fear anything like that. When I see the stage, I am excited.
And those early times, like the early clubs, the non-paying gigs, the small stages, the 10 people in a room, like, how does that correlate to this courage and to everything else? Like, how does it forge you? Like, how does that create you,
That's when you yeah, that's when you learn
Humility.
and that it's more courageous to get up in front of 10 than 10,000. Because those 10 can hear you fucking
Every
breathe.
fucking word.
They can hear you breathe. They hear you when you go,
Yeah.
So the other day, so yeah, that courage is the fabric. That's the fabric of my existence. Is once I embrace that, advice is not what you hear, and advice is only good if you start to use it.
Use it.
Use it.
Yeah.
You can tell your
Love
kids
that.
all fucking day.
Yeah.
Guys, you gotta XYZ. You gotta do this. You can't
Until they
do
start
that.
doing
And
it,
until
it's
they
not.
start utilizing your experience for their experience.
Yeah.
It's worthless. It's no value. So I took his courage, his advice to be courageous and live life courageously and do it. Look, I when we met, I told you I've been performing for the United States military.
Yeah.
And that I had to fly into war zone in Iraq and perform cold with no opening acts, nothing.
Yeah.
And they would just say, today we have a special guest for you. I want you guys to have some respect. Give it up right now. It's comedian Mark Viera. And they would just fucking, and the chief fucking officer would just walk out and I would walk in.
There's no DJ.
No DJ fucking, nothing, fucking, nothing. And I had to, from that point, I had to make them my audience.
Yeah.
Because they didn't give a fuck.
Right.
And so all these little moments, when you see me on stage now, know that I bring those moments with me. Those moments that took real courage. Those moments, not that we're at the Miami Improv and you had 7 drinks and you're good now and you had some chicken fingers and shit, Those things, I know you're comfy, but
The
I've been...
The improv gets you too. They're like mandatory 2-drink minimum,
two purchase, you got to pay for parking, tú tienes que pagar por todo by the time,
You're going to laugh no matter what.
Yeah, I'm gonna laugh. Fuck that. Yeah, I'm $200 in. I'm gonna laugh at the fucking, at the wait every time he comes up. Yeah, so we are, the hard part for me, is it's not over. It's just transition to what can I do to keep putting pressure on myself to create the world that I want them to see, the audience to see.
Yeah.
That's where the hard part is now.
Yeah.
It's not about getting on stage. It's not about even preparing. It's about the shit I do.
Painting the picture.
Yeah, it's a shit I do when everybody thinks I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
That I'm doing, which is writing.
Yeah.
I'm writing material. I'm creating the world, the next best hit. And I call it the next classic, because all my jokes that we all know through the years, I don't do those anymore.
Yeah.
They're classics.
Yeah.
So I always go, well, what's the next classic?
What's the next classic?
What's the next classic, baby? That's what we're doing now,
I love that. I love that. So, have you ever bombed on stage?
The whole fucking first 5 years was a bomb, Comedy sucks,
I gotta
bro.
be honest, man. Like, I met you, right? So, I met you,
funny guy.
I don't want to say funny because you were funny when you were a kid too, right? But successful funny.
Yeah,
right?
in some way.
Successfully
Absolutely.
funny,
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to imagine Mark Viera bombing.
I can break it down
at a
to you like
nightclub,
this,
bro.
man. If you do a 7-8 minute set in the beginning and you get 2 good laughs,
You did great.
you did pretty damn good. You did pretty damn good. Not great, you did pretty damn good. Because there were nights where I went up and I only got 1 good laugh. And let me tell you, when you're on stage for 8 minutes and you only get 1 good laugh, it feels like 8 hours.
Yeah, it's an eternity.
It's an eternity. You speak in front of people. I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If people ain't gelling with the shit you saying, it feels like an eternity.
Yeah. Like
I know that feeling.
And we're different, right? Because your immediate response, you're winning if people are laughing.
Right.
For me, I'm looking at people's eyes to see if they're even give a
Engaging
shit
on
about
any level.
anything that I'm saying, right? Like, I got this guy over here. He on his phone. He don't give a fuck
Yeah, he
what
don't
I'm
give a
saying.
fuck, yeah.
This motherfucker's going like this right in front of me.
Yeah.
He's like rolling his eyes are rolling to the back of his
Yes.
head.
Yeah.
That person's engaged. Okay, I got 1 out of 1,000 people in the room.
You got one person taking notes.
I start looking
That's
at
who you
her
talk
like
to.
that's who I talk
That's
to
who
the
I'm
whole
talking
time.
to. I'm like, you're not, Doña, I don't know who you are, but you're my ride or die today because everybody else is not giving me shit. And then let me tell you, comedy in the beginning, I say this because it's true. For the first 5 years, it's hard for a reason because you don't know shit. You don't know, you are funny, but you don't know how and you don't know why. And those two answers, they come in the first 5 years, the how and the why. How do I make this funny? And then why is it funny? Why would anybody give a shit that I'm talking about my dog ate my fucking salad yesterday? And then who really gives a fuck about the dog? Like,
and delivery.
and there's so many. It's very mechanical.
Nuances.
It's very mechanical in the beginning, and you don't have the savvy yet, the mechanical savvy to make it work.
Yeah.
That's why the first 5 years I tell people, you're not gonna make money because you're not supposed to. You suck.
Yeah.
Who would pay you to suck?
Yeah.
No job.
No job.
There is no job that you walk in and you go, oh my God, as a painter, I fucked this whole wall up. I'm charged $600 for it.
Yeah.
Well, bullshit. I'm not paying you anything. You fucked the wall up.
Yeah,
Nobody pays you to suck. Everybody thinks look, everybody's funny.
Yeah.
Everybody. I got friends that can out funny me any day of the week, twice on Sunday.
But not on stage. That's a whole
Not when
thing.
you snap your finger and say lights are hot.
So you've helped us, and I'm going to publicly say thank you to you, but you've helped us with our charity events.
Absolutely.
And historically, we've done them a couple of times in the year, but historically, we try to do it on 420. We play on the 420, April 20th, 420, kind of theme. And we were laughing earlier because we were like, hey, this year, so we always bring up amateurs ahead of the highlight of the night, right? And the amateurs are pretty funny, but it's a lot of real estate related stuff, And the room is full of realtors, so you get it. You know what they're talking about. Like you laugh because you understand. You're living that life, And I told my wife today, I said we should get squishy tomatoes. Like, the squishy balls, but like they look like tomatoes, so that if they bomb, we can just throw like squishy tomatoes at them.
You ruined their life. Don't do it. You ruined their life. They be in the parking lot like that. I got hit with a tomato. You know what I mean?
But I've had the privilege of hosting these events, right? And as a host, you got to say a couple things, in between. And it is not easy, bro.
It's not.
And so what I've learned to do is all year long, I have a note in my phone, like in my notes app, right? That says comedy show. And every time my family does something fucking stupid, I type it into the
comedy show. Yeah.
That's what I'm going to talk about, Because
Yeah.
I'm sure that my kids are doing stupid shit that somebody else's kids are doing.
Absolutely.
And I just want to put them out there on the comedy show.
Yeah. So that's honestly, it's basically what I do, except that I have a comedy filter that has built up through the years. So what that means is I can make anything funny.
Yeah.
Just about anything. Listen, whether it be politics or it doesn't matter. There's a way for me to get a joke out of it, a funny hoo-ha out of it, because of the way I think mechanically now.
Right.
But in the beginning, you don't have that built up yet. You don't have that filter. Again, you don't know why, and you really don't know how. Those things are so critical to being an easy comedian to sort of digest.
Yeah.
And that's why when you see new comics, it feels bulky.
Yeah.
Because it's like, damn, they don't know how to they don't know how to soften the blow.
I'm up there trying to tell, and I'm no comedian, guys. Yeah. Like I am no comedian. But I gotta try to be a little funny between the actual comedians, right? Like, because I'm introducing them and stuff, and I'm trying to treat it like a comedy show. Because we're doing this for charity. We want people to have fun. We want to raise money.
You want to make it fun.
We want to make it fun, And I'm probably bulky as shit up there, and then you get like a few laughs, and you're like, "Yo, I'm funny." Like,
right? I could do this. I think. Yeah.
And then I introduce you, and then you go up there, and then the laugh is like 1,000 decibels higher than the laugh that I got. And I was like, "Yeah, maybe I'm not that funny."
Yeah, man, this motherfucker knows what he's doing. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. Yeah. It's the brilliance.
Oh, that's the difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, I think I missed saying this earlier, but. Even with my son passing, I realized, holy shit, man, I love comedy. I say love like that because, like I told my woman, I would never, ever touch another woman. But comedy is your biggest adversary because I love this thing. Like it's my girl, man. I think about her all day. I talk about her all night. You know what I mean? I want to be with her. This is my thing. This is my thing, bro.
Yeah.
When I'm chilling at home on the sofa, guess where I'd rather be? On fucking stage, bro. If I'm on vacation and you think I'm enjoying the beach, I am, but
I
am
want
I?
to be on stage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd rather be on stage because now I'm at that point where I'm so honest that, you know, I say this to people now, Dave, and I swear to God, I get the weirdest looks. You know, all day you spend pretending to be what you want people to see. See, I get to be myself on stage.
Yeah.
For an hour. So the second I come off, I have to be the man that I want to be for my woman. But when I'm on stage, I'm just me.
You just want to be you. You get to be you.
Yeah. Whereas people, unfortunately, they got to go to fucking jobs and they got to pretend to like the job. They got to pretend to like everybody at their job. They got to pretend they like the fucking car they drive. They got to pretend they like the food they eat that their person made or the fucking shitty McDonald's on the way. Bro, I don't have to do that for an hour.
Yeah.
I could just be authentically me for one fucking hour.
That's awesome.
And that shit right there is the game changer. It's the reason why I hold up. It's the reason why I look so forward to. Because even after Mark died, right, and he passed away, and I took a month where I didn't even think about comedy. But bro, the day I went on stage and I told the audience, I'm going through something, so just ride with me. The fact that I said that on stage in front of hundreds of people, you had to see them, bro. They said, Mark, take your time. Mark, take your time. I took my time. And I got them there, we laughed. And then after the show, I cried. And they understood. And now from that point on, doesn't matter. I'm going out there to be.
That's game changer right there.
Game changer. I'm just going to be.
What an experience, though.
I'm just going to be. That's all. But you know what? I'm going to ride on? It's going to be authentically dope.
Yeah.
Your shit, hold on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I tell people now.
Yeah.
What you see in these videos is hilarious. But what you see in person, hold on, bro.
Whole next level.
Hold on, bro.
When are you coming back to Miami?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. You know, I have a regular in Fort Lauderdale. It's
420,
my regular.
420,
Yeah, 420. 420. You know, call Danielle. You know, she's waiting for your call. I'm always in Fort Lauderdale because I have a regular show called Mark Viera's All-Star Comedy Show, and I get to bring other comics, but in rare form, I get to host it. And people don't ever get to see me host.
Yeah.
So I'm the first comic you see, and I'm the last comic you see. So I take advantage of both bookends. I go out hard in the beginning, and I go out hard at the end.
Yeah.
And in between, I say, there was a time when I got to introduce a young man named Marcelo Hernandez, who was 24 years old and didn't know shit about shit.
Yeah.
But I brought him everywhere I went. So I hope you trust me for bringing you some great talent that I find in my walks. So this is sort of my showcase of comics to be. You know what I mean? The next one's to watch. And sometimes, bro, it fucking falls flat on its face. And then sometimes it's
magic.
It's a grand slam.
Yeah.
And I get to go out on stage and watch a crowd go, holy shit, what just happened? You know?
Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck that is. And he was absolutely hilarious. It's a blessing.
That's a real blessing.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned something earlier that kind of stuck with me a little bit, and you said that you know, you realized that you were the fuck up. You were the one who you know, let the bad marriage happen and things of that nature. And what do you think those failures revealed about you, and how did that change who you are?
You know, I love when I read the position of this show that we're doing, and this sort of forging the man and how he goes through this fire and becomes, you know, it's not really about the fuck up. It's about acknowledging the fuck up. It's about embracing that you're a fuck up and that allow yourself the possibilities that as right as you want to be, you might have fucked this up.
Yeah.
You don't know. I say that, right? I have friends with kids.
Yeah.
And all they've done is given their kids the best of the best of the best.
of the best.
The best. You know them and I know them.
Yeah.
It's not solely me.
Yeah.
But their kid is on, London Avenue, laid on the floor, drugged out. But they had every meal, flat screen
Everything they ever
TVs,
wanted.
PlayStations. They had paid education. And they're laid out on the street floor somewhere en drogado because their journey was theirs. But no matter what you did, their journey was theirs.
Yeah.
And I feel like, embracing the fact that things can get fucked up is almost like an awakening. You wake up and go, holy shit. What do you mean? I'm not in control of everything, on the fucking planet. Yeah. And once you can agree that no matter how hard you work, Dave, and how much you painstakingly talk to your children, that their journey is theirs and that you can't live that for them, at some point, you just start doing this. I'm going to hold my shit tight because what I can control.
And hope and pray.
And what I can control is este hombre that I have to wake up with every day.
And so that leads me to, you said that you care more about being a good human being and a good man than anything else in the world.
That's it. I talk about money with my fiance because I'm 52. And I tell her, I thought I was in my prime of comedy when I was about 35. I thought I was in my prime because I was working on a TV show with George Lopez. Yeah. And I had a lot of things stringing together. Hollywood people going, oh my God, we know who you are. And I'm like, you too? I'm from the Bronx, Castle Hill. How the fuck you know me, And people were saying my name. And Martin Lawrence was calling me to do project. There was a time when I was like, mira, yo soy alguien. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I started to believe that word we started with, which is fame.
Yeah.
I started to believe in fame instead of believing in the work, because fame, you want to be famous, but you want to be famous for the right thing.
For the right reasons.
For the right reasons. Yeah. Shit, if I ever become famous, I tell people now, what do you want to be remembered as, Mark? I go, fucking funny, bro. And you don't give a fuck about, oh no, he bought the fucking yacht that said this. And remember he wore the sneakers with the fucking gold, or he had that chain, bro. Fuck off. I want people to know, especially now that I'm capable. When I walk in the room and go, yo, that's that fucking comedian. Oh, he's hilarious. You want me to acknowledge you? Say that's a funny motherfucker right there, bro. Yeah. That's it. Whether it's Jamie Foxx, Kevin Hart, or anybody else, I want that respect. I want that respect of saying he's given his fucking life to comedy. The least we could do is acknowledge that motherfucker's a bad motherfucker when he gets on stage. Holy shit. Yeah. This motherfucker, he owns that shit, And
it's interesting because now you're talking about it, the shoes and the yacht and the social media and the money and the this and the that, right? What helps you stay grounded? How do you stay grounded? Because, I used to have a friend of mine that said, God won't let me hit the lotto.
Yeah.
And I said, why? He said, because I'd die on cocaine in a private jet with a bunch of hookers, right? He would tell me straight up, he'd go, bro, if I won the lotto, that's where I'm dying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess but going back to that important question, which is, that you asked.
How do you stay grounded?
Not only how do I stay grounded, but what's important and, those things, that make me what do I want to be remembered as, and how do I want, it's what I wanted to start this whole thing with. I didn't lose my son. I gained perspective. He was the most beautiful human being. So in this lifetime, now I want to be remembered like he is. Just want to be remembered as a good human being. It was enough for him, it's enough for me. That's it. Case closed. All of his friends. I love Mark. He's a good dude. At the end, listen, I tell my woman all the time, say, me voy mañana. You get to spend that money. You get to enjoy whatever I made because I'll be gone.
Yeah.
But I want to have a level of enjoyment knowing that we took time, like, to speak to the girls group that I was talking about before the interview.
Before we started.
That they asked us to come speak. I want to be remembered there. That I came
what
out
you
and
did
made
there.
time to talk to these young people, to tell them to live their life with courage.
Nothing more important.
With courage. Because that's what I was taught. Because I know you'll have so many guests, I think, you know, with this as your medium to talk to
God
men,
willing,
right?
baby.
You'll have
God
all
willing.
these guests.
Yeah.
But I want to say my piece, as far as what forges the man, I think, is the acceptance of all the things that you want to succeed, but moreover, the things where you failed. And those failures are the things that hardened you, taught you, but also that made you accept that you're not the best at everything.
Right.
That we're constantly evolving and learning and giving, you know? Because when I say good human being, it's like, it's just, this is like a take existence. I'm going to get something.
Yeah.
It's a get, right? I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
I'm going to sell you this and I'm going to get mine from it. But when do you stop and give because it's just good to give, you know?
I heard a rabbi once say that God puts us on the earth with purpose, and that purpose is to leave a mark on humanity. And I think that's what you're really just explaining in such a fantastic way.
Yeah.
Is leaving your mark on humanity, right?
Just getting an opportunity, because you can. It's just a weird thing. It's like men, we get this thing where I want to leave my kids and I want to do this for them and I want to do that for them. I'm not really understanding that they may not want none of your shit, bro.
So tell me about this women's group that you went to. Oh,
Yeah.
that's true. They might not want.
They might not want none of the shit you're leaving. Have you ever considered that?
I tell my kids all the time. My will is to say, follow Steve Harvey's advice.
Yeah. I spent my shit.
He goes, me and mama are wasting this money. Well, this is my money.
It's my money. Yeah. And I don't mean that in a cruel way.
No.
And I just mean if isn't it testament that you did it right if they didn't need none of your shit?
Right. That's the whole point. If I die and they never needed a dime of anything.
Oh my God. And they just said, we're gonna build the Dave Kurz real estate library on 72nd and such, right?
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be dope?
Yeah.
That they didn't squander away the days and nights that you didn't come home and have dinner with your wife. I know, Jen. And that's not your wife. That's your girl, bro.
Yeah, that's my girl.
Every day, my woman that's my girlfriend. Hamas that she's my wife or whatever.
Yeah.
That's my girlfriend every day, bro. And I want to hold her hand and I want to show her things and I want to enjoy a meal and a good drink. And I want to walk on the sand with her and just laugh and play and chill. That's my look forward to, you know? But she understands that the flip side to me is that I'm this insatiable motherfucker that gotta make people laugh, bro. I have to. It's a part of my existence.
Yeah.
But when we're not doing that, bro. And so that to me is the lesson that you could leave to your kids is if you can end this shit happy, content with the person you love the most, that's the win. But I don't want to leave somebody money or property or things that they're gonna squander.
Yeah.
That I lost sleep over.
Yeah.
You know, that house, the 4 bedrooms with the 3 bathrooms, with the 3-car garage, and the fucking basketball court. You sold it for $366, you motherfucker. Right? You know what I mean? And then you took the $366 and you went to fucking Spain.
Don't even put it in your will so that they gotta fight.
mean I bought a fucking
Ferrari.
dog named Toto? What the f? Why? I never bought that shit. I never did that. Why would you?
I thought you were going to say I bought a
Yeah.
dog named Ferrari.
You know, you
I
got
bought a Ferrari.
Right. So you worked and you worried, strained, you didn't buy this to buy that, saved and you know, you tortured yourself. And I feel like what a shame is that since they don't witness the things you do internally to be successful, they don't understand.
They don't understand.
That cup, this cup that cost you, you know,
Whatever it
$10.
cost me. But
That was $10,
this cup
bro.
cost me X time.
X time to achieve, to get to, and to contemplate, think, well, which cup should I get? And you sold it at the garage sale of my estate for $9 for the case. Each glass.
Yeah, so you say yard sale.
Right? Yard sale?
So son $2.
You fucked me at a yard sale? But I hate to say this. Go online right now and look at how many people
Oh, yeah. All over the place.
have estate sales. And
All
they're
over
giving
the place.
people shit away for
Yeah.
pennies to the
I mean, we
dollar.
have to handle it sometimes. We have an estate company that we refer it to.
Yes.
But,
You see what I
sometimes
mean?
people come to me and they go, hey, I need to sell this house.
I need to get rid of the house and its
but
contents.
but
And
it's
it's kind of because I don't
contents.
want to go in there.
Yeah.
I love my dad. I don't really want to go in there. I don't want to waste my time.
Yeah.
You don't want to waste your time.
They don't want any of that shit. Maybe
Babe.
a photo album or something.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm
But
really,
think about
I'm
that.
hell bent
so
on that
I
shit
just kind
too.
of fed into the story, right?
Yeah.
Because I just said maybe a photo album or something, right? But what are they really saying? They don't say I want the photo album because it has dope ass like gold rings.
Yeah.
They're saying I want the photo album because that's where the memories are,
Right.
right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. That's the value is in the photo album of the memories.
Yeah.
The house ain't worth shit to me, but whatever you can sell it for, whatever you can sell it for,
Yeah.
let's get rid of it.
Yeah.
And his Toyota Tundra that he worked every day in, listened to his music,
Yeah.
fucking danced his ass off.
None of it's relevant.
Give me $7,000. I just want to get rid of it.
Yeah, none of it's relevant.
You see what I mean? So
of
when
it
I say,
relevant.
when I love that term, when I read it on your, synopsis of this conversation, it was just like, what forged you into them? And I go, holy shit. The revelation that it's all the times that I sacrificed my time to do a joke, did it again, and I did it 6,000 times before I got the laugh I was looking for. And I'm still doing it that way 24 years later,
Yeah.
that I still write a set, work it for free at the Miami Improv. I show up and do a free show. Nobody even knows I'm coming. I just want to do 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And then I go to another club and then I tape it for Netflix, Amazon, or whatever, 7 months later. But it starts at the Miami Improv for free because it's an idea.
Yeah.
It's just an idea. I want to work on this idea.
People don't know this stuff.
Yeah.
They don't know the background of it. They don't know the work that goes into
It.
You know, let's talk about this podcast right here. For both of us, this podcast is 20 plus years in the making.
Right.
Right? Like if you really think about it, right? Like if you didn't do what you did for so many years, would you have been called upon as a guest?
As a guest.
And if I didn't do what I did for so many years, would I even have a podcast studio? And would you even be? And if you did everything you
Wanting
had
to do it
would
with
you
you.
even be
Want it,
interested in
yeah.
wanting to do it with me?
Right,
right,
right.
And so a lot of this is years and years and years
In the making.
years
In the making. In the making.
And sometimes you even know what the
Yeah.
fuck you're building, man.
You have no idea what you're building, but when you recognize that you have something important to say, that's when the game begins.
Yeah,
That's when the game begins. I really feel that way. When you have something valuable to add to humanity, to the space, to the ears, to the listener, I know you do that.
Yeah.
I know you
Leaving
write
your mark.
your outlines for your presentations to young aspiring real estate. I know it takes time, but I know you want to be good when you're up there, and you want to be poignant, and you want to be real. So you talk a lot about your experience versus the experience. And look how you do, because I've been there. I'm going to bring somebody on right now who's been working on this. He's excellent at it. Why do you do that? Because it may not be what you're great at. I told you what I was good at, and you're here for it. And I got a treat. I got somebody else who's even better at this other part. So let me bring him on. His name is John such and such. And you bring John up confidently and go, I give you their time. Take 15, 20 minutes, whatever you need, but give them something that they can go home with, that they can add to their, not only their work experience, but hopefully their life experience.
Yeah.
They can take. I went to one of your presentations and you asked me to speak. Yeah. Do you know how many notes I took that day? I took pages of notes, went home and digested this one guy that said, your time.
Yeah. That was
time management.
Nick Sarnicola.
Time management.
He said it's not time management, it's time valuement.
That's it.
Yeah. You have to value your time.
It meant everything to me.
Yeah.
Now, people want to talk to me about comedy. You're on the clock. You want an hour of my day? You got to pay for it.
Yeah.
I'm not giving away shit anymore.
Yeah.
And if you see me in the street and I give you a gold nugget, you better recognize you're getting a gold nugget.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to waste my time giving advice to people that don't want to accept it.
That don't want to accept it or will never use it.
Will never use it.
Yeah, just like we were talking about earlier with the kids.
Yeah.
It's the same thing out here.
Same thing out here. How many people come up to you? Oh, my God, I'm a real estate agent. I got, bro, and they want to take an hour, 2 hours of your day, literally peeling your part. And you're so interested in what you do, you'd be happy to talk to them. But at some point you go, listen, Pop, I got to go. I got to, my daughter's got a game tonight. I got to get prepared. I would love to talk to you more.
And then you run into them a year later, 2 years later, and they did nothing.
They did nothing. No, I don't even do real estate anymore, bro. I work at I'm the manager at the Home Depot up the street. But you know what? They got good benefits, and they take. All right, well then do that.
Yeah,
then do that.
All day.
Mira,
ain't nothing wrong with that,
bendiga, bro. Go do that. I always tell people, there ain't nothing wrong with what you're doing. The only thing I find wrong is your mindset, right? Your mindset. The mindset is everything, and I learned that at your thing as well. There's a way that you have to think so that you can progress and evolve. Mm-hmm. Evolution doesn't happen accidentally. No. And most people deny their evolution, which bothers me.
Yeah.
Bothers me. Bro, you have an opportunity. You work at the post office. I got to, aren't you a photographer? I got an opportunity. Come take these pictures. Yeah. My cousin Donnie's got a wedding. He's willing to pay $10K. Go over to bring your camera. You got $9,000 worth of cameras that he paid with his post office money. And then 2 days later, I'm not gonna make it, man. Yeah,
they're scared.
They're
scared. They're scared. That's what that is. It's fear. It's fear, and fear is a very powerful thing if you allow it to overcome you.
That's it.
It's fear.
That's
you couldn't be who you are today if you were scared to get on the stage.
No way.
Or turn on the video player.
Or leave on your my $100,000 paying day job.
Yeah. To go do this.
To go do comedy with a question mark. People said, well, you're leaving $100,000. How much are you going to make? And I said, I have no fucking idea. Yeah. And I left benefits. Fingers crossed. I left dental and optical. How much are you going to make? I said, I don't fucking know. But I'll tell you what, I'll be able to do it my way. However the fuck I want to do it. And it drives people crazy that I tell them, do you understand that when you go to work, they shut you off and only get the worker part of you? Do you understand that?
Yeah.
That you're just going to work there?
Yeah.
And you can't even go to the boss and say, hey, I have a great idea that I think that's going to work well in the office. They'll say, Johnny, do me a favor. Get the fuck out of my office right now.
Go back to work.
Go back to work. You deliver mail from here to the 5th floor. Get to fucking delivering mail. I didn't ask you for no ideas. And as a matter of fact, I don't ask you for shit. Okay? Take your break at 1 to 1:40. Take your fucking, your little snack break. Take cigarette break. How many people do that shit willfully? Willfully. All because they wouldn't fucking take or have the courage to do some shit on their own.
Yeah.
To create a world that they can love to live in. It's scary. Yeah. So I only say that because what you just said, that courage to, to risk it all
Yeah.
is immense. It's denying fear, and it's taking on a monster you can't kill. It's Freddy Krueger, bro.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Fear don't go away.
Nope.
But what you can do is say, fuck off. I'm going straight anyway.
Yeah.
Come, because no matter what, there's always a monster in the fucking closet, bro. No matter what. It's always a monster in the closet. Well, we got to live, bro, I go in that closet every day and I'm like, what's up, bro?
What's
How
up,
you
bro?
doing?
Yeah.
Me pongo la ropa
Yeah.
and I go and I handle my fucking business. Ask me if that monster's ever not there. It's always there.
It's always there.
Always there.
But can he fuck with you?
Fear
Is the question.
What if
right?
what if the housing market fucking plummets
It
and
has in my
you
career.
can't sell a house?
It has in my
It has
career.
in your career.
2008, baby.
You should be for Danny's fucking window washing company. But
Yeah.
you're still here, bro.
Yeah.
There's a courage in that. There's a
By the way,
unwavering courage.
if I ever wash windows, this is gonna be David's window washing company.
I'm gonna own the company,
I'ma own the
and I'm gonna
motherfucking
hire the
company.
motherfuckers that are up there on the 30th floor
Yeah.
washing
We
windows.
go
You
wash
damn
the
right.
windows.
You damn right.
I don't know
You damn
about
right.
30th floor. I'll be on the first floor.
Mira,
Somebody
Get
else.
that?
Somebody else gonna be on the third.
I'll get you the squeegee. Mira, on the pulley.
I'll be inspecting that shit from inside.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. So let me ask you a question. Your life, looking at your life today, career, purpose, pain, fatherhood, your relationship with your girl now. What are you most proud of?
That's a dope question because it has so many sides to it. You know, I'm proud that I'm sitting here in front of you because it means that I have embraced the melancholy of my life, the sweet and the sadness all together. I'm very proud of that. I know that takes an incredible amount of work. Yeah. I'm proud that even though I only had 26 years, but I'm proud that at 22 years of age, that I had that wonderful opportunity to be Marky's dad. So proud of that. And I'm proud that, that my grandfather he didn't know it then, but even when I was 4 and he told me live life courageously, that, as I said, I didn't just hear him. I behaved that way. Right. I lived my life with courage. I changed jobs constantly because I just wasn't satisfied. I wasn't afraid of change. Still am not afraid of change. Although I feel like most people fucking hate change so much that they're okay with status quo. So I'm proud that I'm proud that I still make him proud.
That's awesome.
Those things are and also when I get on stage and talk about my grandmother and my grandfather, like I'm proud I get an opportunity to tell their story. And I think, when your parents move on, right, that their story isn't forgotten. Their struggle isn't forgotten. And that's why I love on stage. I get an opportunity to talk about where I am, but I also talk about where I'm from.
Where you're from.
Where I'm fucking
been.
from. Where I've been. And that's not, there's no shame.
There's not many careers you get to do that in either. Like,
David,
man, that's so dope.
Bro, I never speak about the Bronx shamefully. Ever.
You
I always talk about the Bronx like it was the fucking greatest place that could ever be. You know why? Because I'm not here without, like you said, without those hills that I had to go up and down to get to school.
Yeah. And crossing the Grand Concourse.
There's no me sitting here if those days didn't teach me the essentials of what you need in battle. I know there's Marine Corps and I know there's, but there's also the street. There's also where we come from that prepare you to go to battle, bro. In life, you got to fight for your shit, bro. Yeah. So I'm proud that I've taken all those, what people consider fucking you didn't have shit. Yeah. And you should be ashamed and this and this and that. And I look at them and I laugh and I go, shame, bro? You ever watch somebody work so fucking hard, bro? Go to work sick? That's not shame.
That's not shameful.
That's not shame at all.
No, man.
I was taught something incredibly important. by watching that. My grandmother never told me, yo tengo que trabajar. No. I watched that. I know what that is. And people ask me why my work ethic is so fucking ridiculous.
You had an example.
Had the perfect
Nobody
example.
told you about the example. You had
I had the example. So I take that, and I swear to God that the truth is how proud I am of those things is the reason why they take up a lot of space on stage with me, because I could be goofy, I could be this and that, but I want people to remember the message in the funny. You know, I talk about them, but I also remind them that this guy, this funny and all this shit comes from humble beginnings.
Yeah.
Very humble, wonderful lessons of humble beginnings, man. So it's a beautiful thing.
Hey guys, real quick. If you're in real estate and you're thinking about growing your business, I want to personally invite you to connect with me at davidadamkurz.com. Everything I've built is designed to help agents do one thing: make more money, the Triple M. I lead a powerful real estate organization at LPT Realty, and my team is growing fast across the country. And if you're looking for leadership, support, systems, and a high-producing community, come talk to us. I'm also scaling New World Title, one of the fastest growing title companies in the country. If you're a realtor looking for a title partner that actually supports your business, we've built something special. And through PRMG, we've opened incredible mortgage opportunities for agents who want to earn more, leverage more, and put themselves in a position to win financially. All three companies align for one mission: help agents make money and build real estate businesses with real support. If you want to learn more, go to davidadamkurz.com or send me a DM on any social media. I'd love to connect with you and see how we can help you grow. All right, guys, let's get back to the show. You have another son. How did the loss of Mark Jr. shift your relationship with your son?
It's done a lot of things. It's made us closer, in a lot of ways, but it also, it created a little dissension as well.
Okay.
Because Xavier was still too young. You know, when Marky passed away, he was, Xavier was 18.
Yeah.
So I don't think, there's a lot of development emotionally that's still required at 18 years old.
Yeah.
And Xavier is still, to this day, he's still learning how to cope, understand, and handle all the things. Because Xavier had to deal with divorce of his parents at 16, the death of his brother 2 years later. So there was a lot of, there's We Are Always Wonderful. That's my son.
Growing and still coping.
He's still growing and coping. And I say this with love and anger. He disappears when he wants emotionally from me, because I'm so steady on my feet. I'm so steady on my feet.
And he doesn't quite understand.
He doesn't quite understand that. Like I'm sure he's wondering, how the fuck is this dude?
Yeah.
How does he do this? How does he maintain, and not only maintain, brother, thrive even in the face of all the shit? I'm talking about the tsunamis of shit you deal with as a dad daily. Yeah. I deal with as a dad and a business owner daily. How the hell does he do this shit and still smile at night and still have time to play Call of Duty occasionally, have fun, or have sit down and have a margarita and just...
I can't do Call of Duty, man. Too many fucking buttons now, bro. I'm from the the joystick and the red button. The joystick
and the up and down button. Yeah. But again, I had teenagers. I had teenage boys that wanted me to learn.
You
so
boys.
Dad, you want to play? And I was like, I don't want to play. And they're like, try it. And then I tried it and I fell in love with it.
I feel like if you got boys, it's mandatory.
It's mandatory. Yeah.
Football, but it's a different game on the screen. It's not Call of Duty.
Yes.
It's some I don't know, some teddy bears fighting with some shit.
Yeah, I know how to jump rope. Like, yeah. But as a dad of boys, throwing the football and doing all of that. But I say this because, you know what? With Xavier is no matter what. I've raised a wonderful young man. And at the end of all of it, I think he'll always come back to his dad, knowing that that he is the young man I always expected him to be,
Yeah. All right, so I want to fire some things here. Just get into legacy, wisdom, brotherhood, fire, all that good stuff. You said that men shouldn't be afraid to lean on the people that truly care about them. Why do you think that men struggle so much with reaching out for help?
History. Well, again, you could either watch people be successful in their emotional, with their emotional challenges, or you can watch people drink them away.
Yeah.
You could watch people, which I did. You know, my upbringing was alcohol was quite
Normal.
and you know, I'm not a drinker like that, and so I've had to find other ways to cope.
Yeah.
And leaning on that woman of mine, even when I kind of don't want to tell her the deep, dark hurts,
Right.
has taught me an incredible lesson of respect and how relationships really are supposed to work. And I've had to learn. You know, I spent a lot of my life not talking, hurting in silence, drinking. But once I stopped doing all that extra stuff, you're confronted with the dilemma still.
Right.
And you got to
Once
deal
the
with
pity
it.
party leaves, then the problem's still there.
Well, the work begins.
Yeah.
The real work begins.
Yeah.
And so I think like I come the way here, an hour and a half to get here, I was talking to my mom about my relationship with my son. And my mother's as I told you, and even earlier, my mother's has a master's degree in social work. My mother's a very good listener. And so when I talk to her, I know she's doing what she was trained to do.
Yeah.
Well, just hear me out.
Yeah.
Just hear me out. And
It's the
so
best.
it's the best part. But she won't listen to me when I'm bullshitting her. See what I mean?
Yeah.
She'll ask me again. Well, why did you feel that way?
Yeah.
Well, why did that happen?
Yeah.
She'll ask me again.
Yeah.
Because she knows that I'm bullshitting her, and then I have to confront her with the truth.
Yeah.
You know, and the beauty is that over the last 6 years since my divorce, the most beautiful thing is the conversation with my mom where she says, "I'm proud that you have evolved into this man."
Yeah.
Because the man that you were was a man. I was you know, in the, how do you say, in the general sense, provider, strong,
Yeah.
house. Man, look, he's mowing the lawn, taking care of
dumbbell in one hand, cigar in the
dumbbell,
other.
cigar, drink, mowing lawn, fixing the roof, but unhappy.
Yeah.
But unhappy.
Yeah.
Now that I'm happy, all the work starts from there forward. It starts from my happy place. I'm good. I'm emotionally sound. I am still a parent grieving, but that grief doesn't define me. I'm going to define the grief. And that's a difference. That's the difference between 3 years ago and today when the accident happened. Mm-hmm. The grief was defining me, and people wanted to know how. And now I'm teaching them about the man that now has to deal with the grief instead of the grief overtaking me.
Tell me who you walk with, and I'll tell you who you are.
Most important lesson in life.
How does that shape your circle of people?
It just, brother, it defines everything. My circle, the people that I allow near me, is the most important thing in my life. The circle becomes 3 people. And really, it's just me and my girl. It's 2 people. Redefining their lives, redefining daily what the goals are. The goalpost moves in life, man. And you gotta be, and it should, but it's gotta be okay between. We had this conversation about Jen's dreams. Yeah. It has to be, because you have to be able. She's been with you, and every fucking time your goalpost moved.
Yeah.
And now you're gonna have an issue. How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah.
When my woman says she wants to add this, do that, and go, I go, cool. All right, I go, listen. Let me digest this. It can't be an immediate okay, but let me do what I do with it. I need to, absolutely. Give me my day of digestion and figuring this out, and then I'll come back to you and we'll work on it. And you know what we do, man? We evolve together. The worst thing you could do with someone else is evolve separately. You know, you want to be open, honest with the person that I don't like that anymore. Remember when we used to go to Tata's house and the fucking dog would lick my face and I don't want to do this shit no more. I'm wasting my time with those people. Yeah. And that's the other thing you learn, man. You're fucking wasting your time with people that have no good values. No, bro, the circle just gets
smaller and smaller.
Smaller. She's not just my woman. That's my best pal. That's my business partner. That's my homeboy sometimes when I need it. You know?
Occasionally you're going to open up the circle to other people and then they walk away and you close the circle
and
back up.
Right.
But how do you now, with your experiences in life, how do you tell the difference between a friend and a soul sucker?
That's immediate. That's that sixth sense from the Bronx, baby.
Yeah.
I know immediately who is and who isn't. It's like you said, you know, the circle isn't just here. There's a circle, then there's another one, and there's another one, and there's people who fit in every one of those rings.
Right.
What I'm saying is my nucleus, my day-to-day, my day-to-day is Danielle. It's day-to-day, every day, every single day. Outside of that, real outside of that, my son, my mom, my brother, I talk to them whenever, whenever those things arrive where you want to talk, and then so on and so on and so on. And it goes out to comedians and my buddies and blah, blah.
Right.
But the circle, it really is about, in total, 8 or 9 people. Total. 8 or 9
that's
people.
like too much.
That's way, and that is like you said.
Yeah.
That's not any soul sucker, anybody trying to get at, anyone trying to get in. You know how we are. We are people. I'm a people person, as I know you are too. You let them get somewhere in, but never here.
Right.
Never here.
No.
Even close. They stay. Everyone stays on the outside.
Yeah.
What is the inside is to be protected, and because you're protecting everything about you.
Yeah.
Your energy, your space, your time. I'm just not about it. So that, that's a shit's important.
For the man who's currently grieving, maybe lost somebody that they love, what do you say to them?
I say get the help you need emotionally. Don't always put the weight on the person in your life because they have a lot going on as well, especially if they're grieving with you. Like I had to do that with Danielle. I had to accept the fact that I couldn't cry on her all day in the beginning. I was tormented by the loss of my son. I was down. And so what was required was I needed someone to talk to outside of my house so that I can be open and honest and hear their voice. And I also needed more tools for the work. I wasn't prepared to lose my son. I don't think anybody is.
Anybody is, no.
And when people ask me about therapy or a therapist or this and that, I go, they're not there to comfort you. They're there to supply you.
Yeah.
They're there to give you things you didn't know you needed. Most men don't ever get to hear that. Usually it's too late because they've already taken action, Yeah. But I never felt alone when Mark's accident happened. I never felt alone. And that's where we got to be careful.
It's interesting that you say that because now I'm thinking about her and I'm thinking about her grieving Mark Jr., but also grieving you because she's officially lost you. And but you're still here.
Right.
So she's grieving and she's worried and concerned and terrified of what her future looks like.
With me.
With you.
Yeah.
Terrified. She has to be terrified.
The most profound thing.
It's a normal human response, by the way.
Absolutely. The most profound thing I ever said in this lifetime was to her. I told her probably a few months later after the accident. I said, I don't know how we're going to do this. I said, because I've loved you the way I've loved you, and now I'm only loving you with the pieces of me that I have left. It's a shameful thing to say to another human being.
Yeah.
But I had to tell her the truth.
But it was your truth.
I'm no longer whole. I'm not. So what I got left is this. I need you to be okay with that, even though I'm not. I'm not okay loving you like this. but it's what I have. And to be honest with you, every day we work on it. The fact that she's down with me proves how much she loves me. I always tell her, you never have to tell me you love me again. I know you do. You never have to say that shit again. I don't come home going, do you still love me? Bro, the fact that she's in this shit with me with both gloves on, I know.
If it's not clear enough,
Bro.
what the fuck, bro?
I know she's in this fight.
Yeah.
Because like I said, that is a fucked up place to accept someone.
Yeah.
But it's like I never even heard anybody say it the way you just said it, but that she was now grieving the loss of me. Never heard that before. Fucks me up. That shit hurts. Because I didn't know she was dealing with me that way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It just makes me love her more.
As it should, bro.
Yeah, because she's, people tell me, oh, your girl's amazing. I go, you have no fucking
You have no idea, bro.
You have no idea.
You have no
You
idea.
have no idea. Because I've been, boy, I've tested every bit of that love.
For a man out there right now chasing his dream,
Still
chasing his parrot,
24
passion.
years.
Chasing his dream.
Tú no te cansas.
Fucking
Yo,
goalposts,
bro.
bro.
I just
goalposts.
fucking goalpost moved.
I was so close.
Shit, it's right there.
Okay, for the guy chasing his dream, maybe feeling the pain of chasing the dream, like, the suffering, because we all know it, man. When you're trying to chase that dream, that desire, that goal, that want,
That passion, bro.
that passion. And sometimes it's not even a passion, right? Sometimes it's just a big thing you want to accomplish in life. Doesn't necessarily have to be a passion. For you, it's a passion.
Yeah.
For me, it's a big thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because I'm passionate about a million other things.
Yeah.
Right? My passion lies in similar to you, in being on stage and changing the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, our company model is we're going to change the lives and businesses of over 1 million people.
Yeah.
And that is exciting to me. The other stuff that leads to that, it's a thing to do. You got to do it, bro.
Got to do it.
You got to
Yeah.
do it, right? So for that person that's there in the struggle and the fight and the challenges and what's your message to them?
Even when it gets super hard, stay the course. Don't forget the reason. I started comedy a long seems like a forever ago.
Yeah.
But it also seems like yesterday I started doing this thing. But that's the reason why I'm still funny today, is because I'm still chasing that first laugh. So don't forget the reason why. That becomes critical later on. Yeah. Is you're starting to get some success. It's easy to forget why. You're starting to get known in your industry. You could forget why. Stay married to your initial business plan, your initial idea of what you were looking for. That will never lead you to the wrong destination. Yeah. As I said, people ask me, is it Madison Square Garden? Is it any of those places? Like, no. Just the funniest motherfucker to do it. To me, if I left and I'm in that conversation, David Kurz with Jen at home going, man, we saw Coy. We were blessed to see Kevin Hart. I remember when I saw Mark at that venue and he's right up, like he's number 2. Like I love, it's Coy, it's, whatever it is. Yeah. Just speak about me in that company.
In that same
company. In that company.
Yeah.
Game over.
Yeah.
Game over. That to me. So I think most people set a bar, but don't forget where the bar started, because all those habits that got you off your ass, that got you wanting and willing and starving to get here, that now you're here, you're going to need a new set of, My favorite thing to tell people is, boy, have I had to dream bigger. because I remember dreaming of like, shit, I want to make people laugh. And then I started to make people laugh. And I was like, okay, what do I do now?
But I got to eat.
Yeah, now I got to try to make a couple of dollars, you know? And then it becomes, okay, now I'm making money. And now what, right? And so it's like a now what existence. Now what? You know, now what? Now that you can, because I tell people I can do a lot, I choose to do very little because minimalist Mark Viera is like, I started in an apartment with one bathroom and 4 people.
Yeah.
So why do I need more? It's all fluff. You know, you got coffee, y la crema. And what about the cinnamon with the and the right?
And the little heart.
And the little heart with the, you know, we all started with minimal. Yeah. I'm at that point weirdly at 52 that minimum is fine. Yeah. I gotta stop wanting la mierda, la cosa. Chase the stuff always becomes nothing, you know. But to become great at something is it's a different thing. Because you're never gonna get great.
Yeah, I feel
you're only gonna be considered great. Like I'm never gonna be great. Right. I'm only gonna be because great to me, it moves. I was great last night, but mira, esta gente que vienen esta noche, these people coming tonight,
it might be
they
different.
don't know shit about what I did yesterday. So, you know, especially now that we started like this global chase. Now I want to do shows in England and Amsterdam and Germany and South Africa and Australia, right? Now we have to, now great has moved. He's great in the U.S.
Yeah.
He's pretty good in Canada. But what about, can he be great in the UK? Can he be great in, and like we just said, that goalpost, if it doesn't move, this shit gets boring.
Yeah, you stopped.
This shit gets boring.
The goalpost doesn't move if you stop walking.
Yeah. And so people that are just starting is remember the fundamentals, that the things that moved you to step one.
Yeah, this is the advice for those of you in the forge or in the fire right now. You ain't even been forged yet. You're in your fire right now. You're stepped in it. You're burning up right now.
Yeah.
Just know that you got to keep walking through it. You got to keep walking through it.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. This is huge, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing this with me.
Thank you for having me.
I mean, it means the world to me. You know?
Me too.
I wanna do a couple things. First, I want to say thank you to Gene Moniz. And I realize that Gene, who owns a company called Markaholics, does so much for me behind the camera.
Yeah.
And very rarely do I ever mention his name. And I'm thinking about it before this episode started, and I was like, damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
I mean, he's gonna be on the credits, but at least I can say his fucking name, bro. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you, Gene. Everybody out there watching, you should be giving a round of applause to Gene for editing.
Let the man get his flowers, bro. Let the man get his flowers, bro.
The other thing I want to say is I'd like to dedicate this episode to Mark Jr.
Absolutely.
I got to meet him, and I got to be in the presence of his light.
Yeah.
And I got to say that I appreciate you keeping the conversation of Mark Jr. alive. There's so many people out there that just shut it down. They shut it down because they don't want to talk about it because it's too hard.
Yeah.
And I believe that if you can talk about it, not only is it healing for you, but it's healing for other people around you who have lost a parent or a child or a brother or a sister, uncle, aunt, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, whatever's affecting them, you know, it's an opportunity to give a glimpse of light at the end of the tunnel for somebody.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm seeing you now. You walked into the office. You knew this was going to be a tough conversation.
Absolutely.
But you came into this office with so much light and so much excitement, and right away started to talk about how you're living your life from a positive force.
Yeah.
If you will.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Personally, your story embodies what we're trying to do here. You know, your story embodies the spirit of Forged into Man.
Thank you.
And who you're constantly working to become. And I think that's amazing.
That's it.
You know, so you've taken the Bronx. You've taken what your grandparents put inside of you. The
that
armor's
backpack,
on.
baby.
You
Yes,
never
sir.
put it down.
No, sir.
Apparently I do, but you don't. Shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm going home and I'm looking at my wife. I go, this Bronx motherfucker ain't going nowhere. Ain't going
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know you're pushing him out.
I know.
Yes.
I know. We were starting to get real Miami here, pero hold on a second.
Yeah.
You know, pero wait a minute.
Yes.
Listen, your childhood laughter, the fires that you've been through, the loss of your son, the grief that you felt through, it reveals you.
Thank you.
You know, it reveals you. We've learned with you that comedy isn't just humor. There's a lot more to it.
Absolutely.
You know, there's a lot of work that goes into it. There's a lot of pain that goes into it. And in your case, there's a lot of really good stuff that happened in your life that you love to talk about.
Love to talk about.
And mainly because you want to do things like showcase your grandparents and talk about the shit that your grandmother did and stuff like that, you know? And I think that's so exciting. I love hearing those stories personally because I didn't have grandparents. So, my grandparents passed before I was born. So I didn't get those, but I have stories about my mom and my stepdad. And, you know, when you're talking about like, you know, how hard they worked, and I watched them do that. And I was like, wow, you know? And it really just brings it to light. And honestly, I think a lot of people forget. They forget how hard their parents worked. They forget, you know, how hard the person that raised them did what they could with the tools that they had, you know? And what a blessing. Like you say, your grandmother take $100 and she turned that into a miracle, you know, and you've still got a Happy Meal out of it.
Still got a Happy Meal, bro.
That's incredible. And so to every man out there watching right now, man, Mark's journey is a reminder that you do not just walk through the fire alone. You have to lean on people that love you, and you have to respect the people that love you because they are volunteering their lives, their souls, and their feeling of love for you no matter what you're going through. You have to remember that and never apologize for becoming a better human being. So, again, we'll say it, the fire doesn't destroy the man, it defines him. Thank you very much for being a part of our show. Please share this podcast with everyone in the world that you can think of. I know it's long, and if you journey to this part right here, God bless you, bro. You know, but thank you. Thank you for being a part of it. Share it out there. Put it out in front of somebody's face. You never, ever, ever know what someone else is hiding and going through, and if this episode with Mark could change their lives. So thanks for joining us. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Dave.
Every man has a story. Some hide it, some bury it. But when you share it, it becomes the torch for someone else's path. Remember, the fire doesn't burn to break you, it burns to build you. If today's conversation moved you, share it. And if you're in the middle of your own fire, keep walking. You are not alone. This is Forged into Man. I'm David Adam Kurz. Until next time, stay strong, stay grounded, and stay forged.